What's up, guys? Welcome to the Speak Eazy first episode. Well, actually, we got a mythical first episode with a very special guest, but he came back in to give me the interview again.
Hell yeah!
And he goes by the name of Reppa Ton.
Yeah, in the building.
Huge artist in Richmond. If you guys don't know, you definitely got to check his projects out. The guy is dope. And we're going to go ahead and get into it, and we're going to let him tell you a little bit about himself.
For sure.
So, our first interview.
The mythical first interview.
The mythical first interview.
The Patrick Swayze.
We had an interview 2 days ago.
Yeah, shit.
And the audio completely cut out on us.
Facts.
But I've known from before that, you were going to be my first episode. Because I wanted to have a really impactful first episode, so I'm glad that you came back to bless me with that.
Sure. I'm about to leave in a couple days. I had to link back up with you to do this, so hell yeah, fam.
Heading back to Cali.
Going back to Cali. Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah, it's definitely an honor to have you here, man. I know you're a pretty busy guy. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I hate to ask you questions that we've already went over.
The funny thing is though, my career, my life, I just got so many different, you know what I'm saying, avenues. So might get some different answers this time. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Everything has like 4 fucking sides to it.
Right. And now I've got a few of the answers that I can just go ahead and lay into and then question off of those.
Good shit.
So, we talked about it last time. You're from Richmond, Virginia.
For sure. West End.
I was actually just talking to an artist this morning. I don't know if you know V. Marley.
I don't know him, but I seen her name before.
Yeah, he's got a song, Late Night in the West End.
For real?
Yeah, he's actually talking about coming in to do an interview soon.
Hey, yeah, hell yeah, do that. Definitely do that.
And I actually met him at one of the shows we were talking about on the first or the first interview, the Chi shows.
Hey yo, shout out to the Chi shows.
Too dope to be local. The
Clash parties. Them shits were fire. That shit is like that joint and the Face Melt Fridays, which you had your first show at, right? Or one of your first shows?
Face Melt Friday, yeah.
Yeah, those two are like staples in the city for like parallel scenes.
Definitely different for sure. Like you have like the I would say like the chain stunting rappers are gonna go to Chi-Chi's venue, and
facts.
The underground and authentic hip hop is going straight to Face Melt.
It's like the trap and the backpack, trap versus backpack, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's actually where I met Neighborhood Mink at, was at Too Dope to Be Local.
For real. Shout out to Mink. He's the homie for sure.
Yeah, I was talking to him earlier and trying to get him to come in and bless me with an interview this weekend, but hard guy to get a hold of to coordinate it.
He seemed like he moved at his own beat, so I always fuck with that.
Yeah, he does, for sure. That's one thing I'll say about him.
Yeah.
So, you grew up in the Richmond area.
For sure.
And we talked last time about some of your influences being, big ones being like Eminem, Nas, and we had even gotten into like some of the Juggalo stuff, which I thought was pretty neat, because you definitely don't strike me when I listen to your music or see you in person as like a Juggalo. Like typically I feel like the fan gets a
perception of it. Yeah, I was in fucking middle school, Brooklyn Middle School, like right down the street from here and shit. I was in middle school and I met this one white dude who was like fucking, he was thugged out, you know what I'm saying? Just like always going to juvie, fucking was in the like, you know what I'm saying? Just a crazy ass white dude. And we just instantly clicked up, and he used to come to school and he'd be like, yo, much motherfucking clown love. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? And he just used to always do that. I was like, all right, so what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you keep saying that? he said, yo, it's part of the Juggalos, like Juggalo Nation or whatever. And I was like, huh.
Juggalo Nation.
I just brought that in my head, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, huh, what the hell is that? So, as time went on, you know, I was just getting real acquainted with, like, the Juggalos and you know what I'm saying, everything that surrounded, like, how they were built. And then I got on the Richmond scene, and I met, like, Oliver Queen and shit, and met all the Juggalos, Jesse Daniels and shit, like, met all them. And I was like, oh, shit, this is, like, you know what I'm saying, they're outcasts, you know what I'm saying? So, we easily fit together, and I really always stood with them on that shit. So
well,
hell yeah.
It's actually a neat scene because if you really look at it, not all of these guys are Wicked Clown, Hatchet Man. I mean, they definitely pay homage, but it's almost like the Little B scene before Little B.
Facts. Yeah, because they just really, they don't stick to traditional shit. They really just do what they really want. Like, however they feel, they do that shit. Musically and just lifestyle.
Right, you got Jelly Roll. Who kind of fits into, like, the, I guess, the Juggalo scene a little bit more, but he kind of branches out more, and I think, facts. Southern rock mixed with, like, this, like, 3-6 sound. That's
a fucking fact. I seen, he had that song with Lil White that I like. So hell yeah.
Lil White, that's a big one.
He was a big influence too back in the day.
I think Lil White, he's owed a check by like most rehabs in the country right now after he dropped that Oxycontin track.
Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets, and Lord. That was my shit. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I always like, you know how they say music is influential and shit. I always wanted to do Acid from that one Acid song he had.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually on my playlist.
I always wanted to do Acid because of that shit.
Did you ever get to try it?
Acid? Nah, I did DMT once, but I didn't do
wow,
Acid.
That's one that I've always wanted to try. I actually spent this past summer tripping acid quite a bit.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Had to kind of slow it down for marriage purposes and getting somewhere in life, but
I feel you, bro.
Definitely a powerful mind opener, though.
Oh hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that shit.
So growing up, where you what was kind of like your go-tos? Did you smoke weed coming up and get involved with a lot of like the drug culture?
For real. I started smoking at like 13, 14. I wasn't really in with the earlier crowd because where I grew up basically was like one of the only Section 8 areas or like the only housing projects in the county. And so like all the kids around where I grew up, they was smoking early, they was doing dumb shit early. I see it, and I probably tried it once or twice, but I never really like, indulged in that type of shit. But when I was like 13, 14, I started smoking, started hanging out. I was just like an outcast. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really fit with the kids, but we all like had each other's back, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So when, niggas know if I go to like a party, don't fuck with me because, I fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. So I was always, how Kendrick be like, good kid, Mad City?
Yeah.
Like he was a good kid with the, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how I was growing up. But, I was basically into like music and fucking football and film, ironically. That's it.
Yeah, and I noticed another guy that I met through you, Roger Tyler, has dipped his feet far into the movie business right now, acting.
Shout out RT.
Yeah, definitely shout out him.
He gave me my start on the whole like performing in Richmond scene and shit.
Yeah, let's talk about that because that's on the mythical first interview.
Yeah.
How you got started with performing.
Hell yeah, bro. I was being a knucklehead early on, for real. Like, not even early on, like, you know what I'm saying, like, later teenage years and shit. And fucking, I was on the run from some shit that I can't say, but I was on the run, and I had, RT was working at the, what's it called, the Night's Inn, little motel shit. And I had went there one time, I was like, yo, I'm trying to book a room, whatever. He was like, oh, where, I got you. He was like, yo, you rap? I was like, yeah, but I don't think, you know what I'm saying, you know me or anything like that. So, basically, I kept coming up there every weekend because I booked that room that one time. next time, booked a room, next time, just kept coming up there every weekend, and he just, you know, we just grew a relationship, and I used to just play him beats and, you know, holler at him, and fucking, at the end of it, like, he just was like, yo, you gotta come to one of the shows and see how, like, the Richmond hip-hop scene. I'm like, Richmond hip-hop scene? I ain't know nothing about it, but, yeah, just started hanging out with him, found Black Lick, and it shot off from there.
Nice, nice. So you actually met Black Liquid through RT.
Yeah, hell yeah. RT was telling me about him, and like he was like, yeah, I'm gonna play lick some of your beats. I'm gonna play like some of the homies, some of your beats and shit. Like, and you also got to come to this like show called Face Melt Friday. But I was 17, 16 at the time, so I was like, damn, I don't got no ride. I can't, you know. So I'm used to stealing cars. I ain't trying to drive into the city with a Stolo. So fucking RT took me down there and introduced me to like the scene, and introduced me to all these people. We went to the little radio station, WRIR, that Lick have a show at and shit, and just kept coming up there and like building a rapport with him. So yeah, he definitely introduced me to that whole culture, or that whole side of Richmond hip hop.
Definitely shout out to Liquid, and
the OG.
It's actually funny, we were talking the last time. I met Black Liquid through you.
Facts.
But before that, I met you through Del Con, who was a member of your group Tribe.
Yeah. Del Keezy. Shout out Del Con, man. Tribe days. The good old days.
Yeah, those were dope. And we discussed a little bit. The first time I seen you perform was at the Broadberry when you opened up for Father.
Yeah. Father. That was a lit ass show. That's one of them benchmark shows.
Definitely was. I still actually watched that video just because it was insane, the crowd hype on that one.
Yeah, fam. That was probably one of the biggest shows I ever did too. But just like that was one of the shows that I really realized like how to command the audience and how to like, you know what I'm saying, really be there and get the shit going. Because I think like a song before the song that I had performed, they were just like, you know, they were rocking, they were chilling. But then I was just looking out in the crowd like, nah, we got to get these people going, man. They came to see, you know, some turn up artists. They came to see like they came to have fun. So I just looked in there and I was like, man, let's turn this shit up, bro.
And you guys definitely did.
That shit was classic. I think Nick F was on that bill. I forgot who else, but that shit was super classic.
And that was actually a crazy night for me because me and my little brother were there and we were still in the experimental phases of Molly. And
ooh, shout out Molly.
But yeah, we were there and we actually bought the ticket from Keezy, who was kind of helping me get my foot into the door with meeting people on the Richmond scene.
That's a fact.
And we had these big raw cones rolled up that night.
Oh shit.
And we were out back and we were smoking with your guys. The shorter guy with the parental advisory sweater on. I can't remember his name. He's bald-headed.
Bald-headed, short with a parental. I can't even think right now.
But we actually almost got him kicked out the club that night before you guys even performed because the bouncers came up. We're out on the patio smoking.
It was probably either Stro or Woody Wop. I forgot who it was. That's funny. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, that was a crazy night.
Yeah, yo. Yeah.
And I remember that night, I was so high, I didn't even really know who I was smoking with. And every event that I seen you at after that, I'm like, yo, Rep, you want to smoke?
Yeah.
And you would always be like, I don't smoke, bro.
Hell yeah. I stopped smoking in like 2011, I think. Yeah, 2011.
I stopped myself in August, actually, so...
Good shit. There's nothing wrong with smoking, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the ones that smoke. Shout out to the whole stoner culture. I fuck with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everybody around me still smoke. I just don't smoke.
Right, and I've got my reasons for stopping.
Facts.
Not really going to discuss that on here, but I mean, I plan on going back, so definitely shout out the stoner culture. Shout out to the Richmond government for passing that bill last week.
That is a real thing. Is that Virginia or is it just
Richmond? That's Virginia.
That's fucking fire.
It is fire.
I did not see that happening anytime soon in my
Not
lifetime.
Virginia is the first southern state.
You know what I'm saying? That's fucking nuts. I would have seen like Atlanta or like Florida or some shit, but that's crazy.
So you said you were into Stolos.
Yeah,
That has to
you
be a
know what
wild
I'm saying? Yeah, man. I mean, one of the things people don't understand growing up in Richmond is like, either you gonna be in the shit or you just super far from the shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if you like in the middle of the two, you technically still in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to. Most places you got to be a hard ass to like hold a gun, but in Richmond, you could be the softest dude. You just know that you should have a gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
This is how that shit is.
And I seen an interview with Suicide Boys a few years back, and they were talking about their neighborhood. I don't know how authentic that was, but
Right.
I know that it definitely correlates to how Richmond is. You can be on one block,
Facts.
and you've got nice houses, you've got clean cut, like
Super facts.
middle class working people, and you have nothing to worry about, and you go half a block over and you're in the shit.
Where they even from, Suicide Boys?
I think New Orleans.
That makes sense. That super makes sense down there too. But yeah, that's definitely how it is in Richmond, man. Fucking, you end up in the wrong. You end up like a wrong left. You in some shit. Just the weirdest shit. You just entered, and yeah, that shit definitely. You gotta like always stay smart and like, you know what I'm saying? Like just pretty much everybody knows the code. You know what I'm saying? Knows the code because you just grew up here. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's like for other places too, but Richmond is just one of them places where you always got to keep your head on a swivel or just like be inside of the shit that's going on. So hell yeah, man, like the Stolos, the fucking trapping, the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like all that shit is just, that was just second nature. That's just always been second nature to like growing up here for real, for real.
It definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have to have the gun, and unless you,
Facts.
I've noticed, unless you're a lithium god, that guy gets anywhere.
Yo, shout out LG, yo. Last time I seen LG, we was drunk. I was with my ex. We were drunk at this party. Shout out him, man. That's a cool dude, bro.
Same.
That's a
The
cool
last
dude.
time I saw him, we partied after a face melt Friday. We all went back to my place and had like a recording party.
Fire recording party.
I've got some insane beats that I made with LG that night that are still actually on the drive still.
He's out his mind, beat wise, production wise. Like he sent me some shit probably like 5 years ago that sound like it can still hold up till today.
Most of his stuff I feel like was before beyond his time.
Beyond his time, yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, he was always he is. I say was. He is always a forward thinker with that shit, man. Shout out to him.
So how old were you when you dropped your first project? How long ago was that?
10 years ago. A couple weeks ago, I think. So, yeah, 10 years, 27. I was 17 when I dropped my first official project.
I think I just seen on Facebook. I was running your Facebook. I caught that. The 10-year memory.
10-year memory. Wonderland, bro. Wonderland. That was the first official project. Like I had dropped like fake ass, you know what I'm saying? I made a cover art on Google Art, you know what I'm saying, back in like 2007, 2006 type shit. And I put a collection of songs and throw it on the internet. Shout out Beta Records. Y'all need to come back so I can find all my old shit. What was the other place? Jam Glue, SoundClick. I used to put all my music on there and shit.
Wow, that's a gem right there. Because most people in today's time, they don't know shit about SoundClick.
Bruh, what? I just asked Sneeze. Sneeze, he just turned 19, man, my little bro. And I just asked him, I was like, yo, you know about SoundClick? He was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, what are you talking about? That's where you found beats. Like, that was the spot. But, yeah, I used to drop a whole bunch of projects back then, but my first official project was Wonderland. And that's when I caught my first deal off that project, actually. Second deal off that project, actually. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice. And how did that project do around the city?
So when we talked about last time, the first interview we had, I ain't like when I first started making music, I didn't really care about the city, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say like, you know what I'm saying, straight fuck the city, but my mindset was because I was such an outcast to like everything that I was hearing in the city. Like all my friends I went to school with, it was making like, you know what I'm saying, trap bangers and little Soldier Boy type songs, and you know what I'm saying, that whole wave of snap music and shit.
Or Ed Derillist.
Shout out Ed Derillist.
Shout out Ed Derillist.
They were making that type shit, you know what I'm saying? So me, I was on some like whole blog era backpack rap type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I had just like I was trying to gain the respect of like Germany and Spain and all these places, because I could hop on the internet and see like this is where people's music was popping, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit, I noticed that shit early on, like, yo, let me target these places and really try to get the music out there. So in the city it wasn't really doing too good or anything. Like my the few friends I had or the high school I was at, it was pretty dope. But yeah.
So that was your first project.
Yeah, Wonderland.
And that's actually dope that you say that, because I don't feel like a lot of artists are really thinking like that when they first get into this. You know, they want the respect of their high school, or they start thinking and hustle. But you were already thinking internationally and across the states.
Hell yeah, bro. That's just, I don't know, man. I just always thought music outside of the box when it came to that shit. Like, I remember clicking up with this dude, Funds, shout out Fundamentals. I remember clicking up with him, and he was like, yo, if you sign with my local label, I'll have your music played at Verona High School, because I was going to Verona at the time. I'll have it played at this certain time, or I'll have Black Lick played on his radio station. And that was way before I knew Black Lick. But he was just say all this local shit, and I was like, I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, fam. I got, at that time, ironically, Nokia was still a company, and one of their creative directors had hit me up and was like, yo, we're having this festival out in somewhere in Germany. I forgot where it was, but they were like, yo, we want you to perform. And I was like, oh shit, nigga, I'm like 15, oh shit. But I couldn't make it because my mom was like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know about all, like, you have these foreign people calling at night and all this other shit, so she backed off it. But I end up losing the spot to Kid Ink.
No shit.
Yeah. That shit was fucking nuts. And to this day, I was just like, I just always knew I had to attack those areas.
I personally feel like you would have went a lot further than Kid Ink took his...
Shout out to Kid Ink, though.
Shout out to Kid Ink, for sure. Definitely was underrated in the mixtape era.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yo, a lot of people don't remember. Everybody listened to like his mainstream shit, but his underground shit was pretty dope.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Dat Piff back in the day.
Shout out Dat
I didn't buy albums. I went to Dat
shit.
Piff to get my feel for an artist back then.
Real shit. Dat Piff was the shit for like my favorite era of Dat Piff was like 2008 to like maybe 2007 to like 2013, 14. Those was my shits.
Big time. That was back, I think the last major mixtape that I listened to on Dat Piff. Well, not the last mixtape, but the last summer I was listening to Dat Piff was when The True Religion by 2 Chainz came out.
Yeah, yo, that was like almost the end of the era. Shout out to that. Yeah,
it really was.
Facts. Yo, shout out to 2 Chainz.
Bring Dat Piff back.
Yo, real shit. Yo, I didn't even know they still like... I didn't even know artists were still dropping mixtapes on Dat Piff while they're dropping on like Apple Music and Spotify and all that shit. Never knew that.
Yeah, well, nowadays those streaming sites have pretty much more or less took over.
Yeah, hell yeah. I went to I was listening to somebody's album. I thought it was an album, and then I went on Dat Piff to go find some old like Meek Mill shit. I was like, oh word, let me go listen to some old Meek Mill shit, Dream Chaser shit. And I went on there. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Fire. I went on there and I seen like dude's whole new project. I think it was like Lil Durk, and I was like, oh shit, how the fuck did they get an album? But I didn't know that they were coinciding the Dat Piff drops with the Spotify drops. So they get the Spotify streams, but they still get like the Dat Piff fan base and shit. That's just pretty dope. I never thought about that.
That is dope.
Hell yeah.
That was back when you could still feel pretty accomplished with a Reverb Nation page.
Yo.
Did you have Reverb?
Fuck no, man. I hated Reverb. I had one though.
Too. I have one still to this day.
Word. I think I probably still got one.
Yeah, I actually found a guy on there who was dropping these like crazy, stupid, funny acapellas, and he actually reached out. He's from Richmond. I'm not gonna put him out there and embarrass him, but he actually hit me and Mink up. We took him to a Face Melt show one day to do a dance routine to open up for us. We were gonna have him do a pop lock routine to turn down for what?
Yo, that's funny as hell.
But we took a lot of his acapellas, and for like a whole summer, me and Mink just like we were in competition to see who could make the funniest mixes off these acapellas by chopping them and putting them on beats.
That's funny as shit.
I'll play some for you when we jump off here, because that'll blow your mind.
Funny as hell.
And that Piff,
I hated Reverb Nation though, man.
Yeah, I hated it too.
Yeah, I hated those places that made you seem like you was a local artist. Like it made you seem like you was an artist trying to like do something. I always went for the pages or the platforms. It was like it can hold you neck and neck with the big artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? You drop on that Piff and you pay like $15, your name will be right next to the big names that drop.
And there's a rapper that I ended up falling out with. His name is Keem Next, and he brought this guy around, and I remember like he would always brag like, "Yeah, I'm #1 in Richmond on Reverb Nation."
Yeah.
And I listened to his shit on there, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking trash.
Damn.
And it's like there's no. Where do you get the clout tokens from this? Like, it's like your shit is trash.
Real shit. When Reverb Nation came out, I think I first found Bandcamp. And I love Bandcamp because Bandcamp.
I still love Bandcamp.
Yeah, yo, it gives you like that your own personalized shit, like your own personalized channel type shit. So I always fuck with Bandcamp, bro.
Yeah, they had merch options and everything. That's the shit today's people definitely don't know about.
They don't. I sold my first like 50 CDs off Bandcamp.
That's dope.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
How did that feel when you started making a profit off of music?
I don't really know. Like, I think I had this conversation with my boy last night. We were talking about, like, you know how you always look forward? You always, like, on to the next shit? I sold 50 albums within, like 6 to 7 months. But to me, it was just so slow in my head. I'm like, damn, why can't I just sell 100 albums in 3 days? You know what I'm saying? So I was always striving to push to, like, marginalize the sales and the time, you know what I'm saying? Rather than peeping like, oh shit, I just sold 50 albums. Not too many people, you know what I'm saying, that don't have a name do that shit.
No, not at all. I remember my first mixtape, and mind you, I've never gotten the success that you have.
Right.
But I remember my first mixtape, I was taken out on the streets. This is back when the digital era kind of first took over. Bad idea. You know, I took my CDs out.
Facts.
And I'm like trying to give them to people if they wouldn't buy them. I'm like, I'll give you the tape if you'll listen to it and
real shit.
Follow me on Twitter or whatever. And people were just not having that shit. Everyone was, I don't even have a CD player, bro. What the fuck you talking about? They're like the new cassette.
I still hear that sometimes. They're like, yo, you selling CDs? I don't even have a CD player. Like, all right, bro, I don't care. Like, you gonna buy like, yo, you can have this as merch, like just hold it up in your room. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
I
support me.
Plastic wrap. I've never even opened them, and it's not even that I'm gonna listen to it in a CD player, but I still have like Black Liquid CDs and trying to think of some of the other guys that I have.
Yeah,
but I keep them albums in plastic just as like a fucking merch piece. It's it's awesome.
Man, I need to. Just came up with an idea while sitting here. I need to gather like all of the Richmond, whatever Richmond artists think they have like their best project. I need to gather all that and bury it for like years and years and years. And then, you
Bring
know what
it
I'm
out in
saying?
the time capsule.
Yo, a fucking time capsule of Richmond music, bro. Yo, I'm about to actually start working on that when I get off this interview.
That's dope.
That's fire.
That is dope. And I think that's actually like a really dope idea to bury that shit and just like show people where the city was
Yo,
10 years ago, 20 years ago.
That's
So,
a super fact.
how did you start getting involved with Gritty City? I see a lot of stuff with you and Gritty coming out. How did you get linked with them?
I'm trying to really. Jono would know more than me. Johnny Siggs, he'll know more than me on how we really linked. But I know I kept seeing their name around the city. I kept seeing them, and like they were just always cool ass dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody that I always met, like Squeaky Waterfalls, Ryan Yates, Chris, like Eric, like all those dudes were just cool ass dudes. And I don't remember quite the conversation or the bill or whatever. I remember my very first show that I ever threw, I threw Johnny Siggs on that joint. And like, it'd be times where I would go out, I had like shows out of state. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to make these shows. And I know Siggs, you know, for one, phenomenal lyricist, dope ass dude.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Just fucking one of the illest in the city. I was like, I remember him always talking about driving and trying to do shows and shit. So then we just started hitting the road all the fucking time. And, you know, when you hit the road, one thing people don't, like, think about when they hit the road is you have ample time to just talk. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if you're taking a 17-hour trip, which we did once, I gotta remember how long that trip was to Maine, but the 17-hour trip was the Arizona to Denver trip. And when you on there, like, you know what I'm saying? You have, like, 17 hours to sit in the car, or even 7 hours, or even 3 hours to sit in the car with somebody, and what are you gonna do? Just like listen to music the whole time? Like, nah, you're gonna talk to this dude and realize you got some of the same ideologies, some of the same, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, just connected like that. And then we never ever really talked about doing business. We just like, yo, you trying to hop on this record? Cool. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you trying to hang out? Come to the bar. Let's hang out. Come to the show. Let's hang out or whatever. But it just like one day it just happened. I was like, yo, I'm about to just do this record, and I want to release it because I had some other shit in the works. But I was like, I want to release this one record on some like pre-tense of another record. So I hit Johnny Siggs with it. He was like, yo, like, everybody's been wondering why haven't we dropped one of your records, or like why haven't we actually like worked business wise. I was like, oh shit, let's do it then. So it just spiraled from there.
Was it him, or I think it may have been Noah O that I seen as getting a feature from Big Rube to narrate?
Yeah.
Was that Noah?
Yeah, that was Noah. Noah got that Big Rube. Yo, Noah called me after he got that joint too, and me and Noah definitely gonna work on some shit. I got some shit with Noah that we definitely gonna work on. Noah is another dude who's like lick. It's like mentor type shit. Like, I watch their moves, and you know they always tell me and give me information and shit like that. So shout out Noah O too.
His performances are phenomenal too.
Bro.
I remember the first show I ever did with you outside of Face Melt. I bought 2 beats off you. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh shit!
I bought the Soap beat off you. I remember the name of that
Soap.
one.
I remember that for some reason. Soap.
And you were like, if you buy these beats, I'll even hook you up with a show slot. And that night I went and performed with you at Nsuboka.
Holy shit, you did.
That night I actually got wrote up in RVA Mag as
we got the t-shirts and shit.
Yeah, as a monumental night in Richmond, and
that's a fact.
I was so proud to actually be a part of that. That was the first time I ever seen Noah perform.
I forgot that was that. Yeah, hell yeah. That was on the t-shirt. It's like I think it's the Johnny Siggs of Gritty City, Noah O, and Reppa Ton, and those shit still sell.
Yeah, I bet.
That's
I mean, that was
shit.
a hell of a night.
That was a classic night. I think Nick F was in the audience, and that was the first time I ever met him. I didn't even meet him for real. I was just like, that's fucking Nick F.
Yeah, Nick F was there.
Yeah.
And that was my first night getting associated with Gritty City.
Facts.
Mind you, I had
facts.
been trolling Ben FM up to that
Yo,
point.
shout out Ben FM too.
Shout out Ben FM. I'm
Facts.
sorry, bro. But he accepted my friend request back in the day. And you know how you spam people with those SoundCloud links.
Absolutely.
When I dropped "Look at My Dick," I tagged him in the drop for that. And
that's funny as shit.
he got pissed off and was like, "Nobody wants to hear about your little ass dick." And I remember I fucked with him hard. And he blocked me like instantly because I was like, "Well, it's little, but it got you butthurt though." And he just got so fucking mad. I forget what all he said at that point. But shout out Ben. I never really wanted him to be upset with me.
That's funny as shit. Ben is a good dude, man. He's a funny dude. Fucking, now that I think about it, I think that I met Johnny Siggs through when I first started doing shows. Crawford, shout out Crawford. You ever met Crawford?
I haven't.
He's the heavyset dude, Brian Crawford.
I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Cool ass dude, like one of the coolest, most genuine people I ever met in my fucking life. He used to come to the face melts, and he seen me perform. He was like, "Yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody keeps talking about you. You trying to perform at my shows in Baja Bean." That's when they were throwing shows in the Baja Bean basement, and I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." So, mind you, at this time, I'm like 17 turning 18 or 18 turning 19. 18 turning 19. And I used to come to the fucking Baja Bean shows that they were throwing. Siggs was the manager of Baja Bean, or like the kitchen manager, or some type of authority that had to look at other authority type shit. So every time I get there, he'd be like, "Can I get your ID?" And I'd be like, "I don't have a fucking ID, bro." He'd be like, "Damn, all right, hold on, let me go ask my manager." And I think like the first 3 times I got booked, at Baja Bean, Siggs would come to the front like, no, the first 2 times. He was like, "Bro, I can't let you," you know what I'm saying? I tried to talk to the manager. "I can't really let you. My bad, bro." But he was so genuine about it. And I was like, "Bro, I just fucking caught this ride all the way from the West End County down to downtown." Like, that shit used to be so upsetting. But then, like, I think I had my 19th birthday or my 20th birthday or something like that. It was like, "Yo, no matter what, we getting you in this fucking show." And then I did a show with them, and then it just kept spiraling from those Baja Bean, kept doing the Baja Bean shows, and that's how that shit came together. I just thought about that.
That's dope.
Yeah, I used to get kicked out the club so fucking much when I first started, bro. That shit used to be like the funniest shit ever. Shout out BC. He used to hold me down as far as like keep your mental together, like don't spaz out. Cause fucking when I first came on the scene, every show, it was like every other show that I would go to, I would get kicked out or like had to go straight to perform or come the fuck out because I was so young and shit. That shit was annoying, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to BC too. He's done a lot for the culture in Richmond as far as like his video production.
That's my fucking bro. He was the first one. RT brought me to everybody. Then I went to Connecticut for some like get my mind straight shit. And as soon as I came back, the very first day I came back, BC had hit me up and was like, "Yo, you ready to shoot a video?" I was like, "What? Hell yeah." So yeah, shout out to BC, man. He's always been one to like make sure you keep your head on straight type shit.
So you dropped the album Thrii.
Yeah. 2016.
And if I recall correctly, didn't that album have a play in the works?
Oh shit! Hey, look at you, man. Yo, that's that narwhal shit I was talking about, yo. Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Had a whole fucking I forgot all about that shit. Yeah. And
that was at the Gray Street Theater.
The Gray Street
across
fucking
from
theater. Yo, what made you think
Strange
about that? That is epic.
That's one of the dopest things I've ever heard of an artist. That to me was like, okay, we got like a Kanye in the city. I'm like, this guy's like, he's making big moves, bigger than music at that point. And I remember I seen that on Facebook years ago, and I was like, wow, that's incredible.
I gotta redo that. Yo, you just made me think. I gotta redo that. Yo, shout out to you. Yeah, we had a fucking whole place set up. So, Damn, that was such a weird time. We had a whole play set up. We had the actors, we had the script, we were getting the script together. Like, what I wanted to do was act out certain scenes and then like come with these different like songs that represented the scenes, because Thrii was an album that was supposed to be built up in different parts and have different settings with them, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we had the whole place set up. We had everything like really down packed. And then this one girl dropped out that was the main girl of the shit. And I was like, fam, what the fuck? So then right after that, the Great Street Theater, they was like, yo, we heard some shit through the wire of like, I forgot what it was, but they were like, yeah, we don't feel comfortable with you doing this. And I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. To this day, I still don't know. It was weird because like in like that year, or maybe it was like 7 months. That 7 months was straight like losing venues, losing opportunities, but like there was nothing on my name. So I don't know if it was some blacklisting shit behind the scenes, but like nothing crazy happened that I knew about. I didn't like shoot anybody or like catch a case or any crazy shit, but it's just like everybody had backed out at that time. So yeah, we had lost that Great Street Theater show, the play, on some just random shit. Damn, that's crazy, bro. I gotta get that back popping.
Yes, I know some stuff.
Yo, for real, yo. I never even thought of that.
Speaking of like plays, and you told me that you were into film. A lot of people probably don't know this, but you were almost a wizard.
Holy shit, yo, you back to back. Yo, you gotta give me some dap, bro. That's fucking fire.
You actually got accepted for a role in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, I did, yo. Okay. So I was living in Ashland, and you know, my mom was young, and like, you know, she was trying to get her life together when I was young and shit like that. You know, respectfully, she had me when she was 16. So around this time, she was probably younger than I am now, like 20, 21. You know what I'm saying? So she was just trying to get her life together. So we was living in Ashland, trapped the fuck out, and I had this computer, and on Nickelodeon or some shit, they were like, you want to be the next Hogwarts star? And they had like the fucking Hogwarts shit and the outline with the question mark in the middle, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be in that outline. This is me, you know what I'm saying? So I had went on the .com, applied, they had hit back and they were like, can you send the audition tape? And I was like, oh shit, that's fucking fire, you know what I'm saying? Sent an audition that my cousin had shot of me from this little like just random little camera that we had. Sent the audition to him, and my mom's had got to beefing with her dude at the time, so we went to go live with my grandmother. My grandmother did not have fucking internet, you know what I'm saying? She won't fucking with the shit, blah, blah, blah. And to me, like, you know what I'm saying? I did the interview, and at the time, when they emailed me back, I just didn't think about it, so I just didn't never really give a fuck about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, besides for that one time living with my mom, we didn't really have internet, you know what I'm saying? So I was impressed about this shit. So she had mended things with her dude, went back to Ashland. I checked my email. This is like 5 months later. Check my email, and it's like 7 emails of them saying like, yo, where are you at? We've been calling this number. You know what I'm saying? We love the audition. We want you to come in. We want you to da-da-da. And I was just sitting there like, I went to one of the emails, see the phone number, calling them. Nothing. Oh, that shit was totally dropped. But I had got the shit, and they were ready to do it. But yeah, that's crazy. Fuck yeah, I was supposed to be a fucking wizard.
Well, I mean, I would say that the people around Richmond would definitely say there's like some magic involved with who you become, definitely within the culture around here, because we were talking about it before.
Absolutely.
There's not an artist that I've ever spoken to inside of the city that doesn't know who Reppa Ton is.
That's insane.
And
it's that spiderweb shit.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I think that's definitely commendable that you, because Richmond doesn't really put on for people a lot.
For sure.
It doesn't recognize its talent a lot of times.
That's real.
I've noticed most people have to step outside of the city to get any recognition.
That's a real thing. And I think as much as I want to say I never really wanted to put out myself too much. Like I think we talked about this in the first interview. I always stood behind the dude that was popping so I can learn from them. So when it was my time, I was just like, I don't want the looks. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to come out onto the scene with the flyest clothes and just win y'all over. I just want to get y'all to listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can either listen to it, don't fuck with it, cool. I just wanted to, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as I'm there, I feel like I can grab somebody. So I feel like a lot of the reason why I can get mentioned, or you know what I'm saying, that I've accomplished so much is just like pure humbleness and pure like just me being genuine to this shit. Like I don't do nothing else. All I do is music. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, and you never present yourself as like I'm bigger than you type of person when people approach you. You didn't do that to me when.
Yo, facts.
You were on a much bigger wave than I was coming into the door. You actually helped me get my foot in the door.
Fucking right, dog.
Which is something that I'll always be grateful for.
Man, that's that shit.
I don't believe that I'm the only one that's happened to.
Yeah. I try to like, man, if somebody is dope, somebody has to see this shit. One thing I always realized, like ever since I was younger, fucking with the bigger artists, I was just like, somebody has to like something about something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can find a market, one of the bigger things about like my learning process coming up was I watched, and then we talked about this the first time, I watched The Weeknd blow up, I watched like fucking Logic blow up, I watched like all these dudes, Denzel Curry, fucking Black Ray, all these dudes that like I seen their earlier career, like their early career, or I like gave them beats, or I like, you know what I'm saying, I used to tell people, like try to put them on and shit, was because somebody likes that shit. You know what I'm saying? Somebody likes that artist that doesn't like me. You know what I'm saying? Or that not even doesn't like me, just I wouldn't put myself in that patch. So like artists like you, or artists like J Lil, or artists like anybody that I ever, you know, dealt with, I was like, man, there's a lane. Because y'all lane are different than mine. Or even if your lane was the same as mine, I know somebody's going to fuck with you, bro. Because you make dope shit. This person makes dope shit. So I got to throw you in some type of like, the Nsuboka show. You make dope shit. Somebody has to see this shit.
Yeah, remember, I even sent you like a list of the tracks.
Yeah.
Like, yo, which one should I perform? And when you gave me like your opinion, I stuck with that. And I got a lot of handshakes from Gritty City that night that told me to keep on my path, that the shit was dope. And that actually, I don't know if you know how much that meant to me back then, but it was huge.
Hey, man. I try to create those fucking moments, dog. That's one thing about me. It's the moments, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I did that show in Arizona, which is pretty big to me, because some kid just randomly found me through, like... essentially what was supposed to be just like a regular mixtape song, you know what I'm saying? Some kid from fucking Arizona randomly found me and was like, yo, I fuck with this song. Could you come perform this in Arizona? I'm like, damn, I'm all the way across the country. I can't really do that. But fucking, I was like, yo, if you can book, shout out to BC, he just hit me up, that's random. But I was like, yo, if you can book the venue, or show me the venue and book the opening artists and shit, I'll come. I'll even pay for the venue if I could get that money back, but I'll come. Hell yeah, like let's do that. And it was a risk to take that though, but I knew it would become a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I spent $500 on the venue, another $500 on the flights for me and Mac. Mac bought his own ticket, but like another, you know what I'm saying? The room and shit. Like we had to bust that out of no money, no guarantee, fan base, none of that shit. But when I got there, it was. I never forget, it was a fucking Trump protest outside of the venue.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was fire, dog. Like, it was these, like, and I don't want to be politically incorrect or anything, but it was, like, Hispanic, Mexicans, like, all gathered up with the, shout out MC Salvador, I think that's his name, everybody had like these picket signs and just going nuts. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking awesome. This is my first show on the West Coast. They fucking protesting out here, you know what I'm saying? And it was my birthday too. So fucking get inside, and when the show starts, the protest actually comes inside and they're enjoying the show. And little did I know, some of the protests is one of the dude MC Salvador's set. So that becomes a whole thing. And it was this kid, he's doing numbers now. I can't find his name again because he changed it, but he was doing numbers last time I checked. It was his very first show. And I always thought about, like, he's gonna remember that for his whole career. His first show was opening up for some dude named Reppa Ton. He had his family with him. It was a fucking Trump protest. You know what I'm saying? Like moments like that. At the time he was going by Red, I think. But he's always gonna remember that shit. And I love those moments, dog.
You know, that's you have a knack for making memorable moments for people.
For sure.
Because the first time I think my family had ever gotten to like experience like a hip hop show was when we got booked at Indian Acres. And my dad's like a huge fan of yours, which is like kind of crazy. I've noticed like when I'm scanning Facebook,
yeah,
it's like 1 out of 3 posts you put up. There he is in the comments.
Right. Shout out to your dad, man. He's a very cool dude, yo.
And I noticed a lot of what he really respects about you is that you're very true to your craft, and
absolutely.
You're big on paying homage to a lot of the artists that have influenced you.
Absolutely. And
man. We were talking the last time about bands like Queen and some of the older bands being like Pink major Floyd, influences on you. What artists outside of hip hop would you say were major influences on you for the people that don't know?
Shit. Artists outside of hip hop, fucking Jimi Hendrix. The biggest one, Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is like the greatest pieces of shit, like fucking the greatest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's my number one everything. Them, the Beatles, fucking Michael Franks, Joni Mitchell. I don't know. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like I get into these modes to where like I might be influenced by some 60s folk music, or then I might get into a mode where I'm like really fall in love with some 70s rock, or then I might be in a mode to, you know what I'm saying, 80s pop. I might go through like fucking Tears for Fears and just be stuck there for days or some shit.
Tears for Fears. That's a big one that I grew up on.
For real.
Yeah, big
Shout,
time.
Man. Fucking Everybody Rules the World. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. All that shit, dog. Songs from the Big Chair is like one of my favorite albums of all time. But yeah, all that shit, bro. All that shit. I just love music, man. I think I have this thing of my mom grew up. My mom raised me on so many fucking different types of music, and fucking just like hearing that helped me understand music more. You know what I'm saying? Like just seeing how different people react to it, or how different I was because I knew some of the music. Like I would go to school and I'd be fucking like singing Alanis Morissette or something, and people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, y'all? I'd be like, y'all don't know this song? I'm fucking dope, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, having to grow up off that shit really put me in a mindset of like always loving different types of music. And then I really don't think there's a music that I don't love, you know what I'm saying, or don't like, you know what I'm saying, besides for like screamo, rock, some of that shit. But like there's not really too much music that I can't find appreciation for, if that makes sense.
Right, and that's like a big thing that I think a lot of artists shut themselves off to.
Facts.
Like I personally grew up with my dad. He was bumping everything from Sublime, Johnny Cash, like Hank Williams, straight into the Chronic album. I remember what year would it have been that Snoop dropped his debut?
That was
95, maybe?
93. 93. My year, the year I was born.
I remember I was 3 years old and my pop had that album. And that's always been like a cementing piece to like my music influences is how I grew up listening to everything.
Big facts, man. Big facts. That shit plays a big part. Like people like the music that you're surrounded by as you're like growing into these stages. Cause I always remember like it's different songs. You know what I'm saying? Like music is a universal language. And time capturing language too, because it's different songs I can hear, and I'll be like, yo, I remember when I was like fucking 6 and I heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah, man, that shit really helps mold people, especially musicians or artists like ourselves.
Yeah, and I seen a post recently, just like one of those meme things, and it was saying that art capture or paintings capture this, shit captures that.
Facts.
Music captures time within its sound, which was like really deep to me, because if you, no matter what music you're listening to, when you listen to it, you get a true feel of what was going on in the world at that time.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. That's why I just like I brung up the 60s folk, 70s rock, and 80s pop, because those times were like, you know what I'm saying? You could feel that from that music, from that. You can feel the cocaine from fucking hearing some 80s pop shit, you know what I'm saying? Or you can feel the fucking distress and fucking militantness of like some 70s rock coming off of Vietnam War and everything that was going on in the 60s and late 60s and shit. Like, you can feel that shit, or you can like hear it, you know what I'm saying? You listen to like Buffalo Springfield, for what it's worth, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, this is like, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the cocaine 80s,
yeah,
you told me before that you were into Eddie Baker a bit.
Yeah. All that whole
Have
wave.
you seen his Cocaine 80s project that he released?
Nah, he dropped a project called Cocaine 80s.
Oh, it is Cocaine 80s, like to the max. I mean, you gotta definitely take a listen. You're gonna both be like, I think probably impressed that he took that step, and also like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Because it's pretty insane. But
yo, I gotta hear this.
Shout out Eddie Baker for being experimental like that.
I gotta hear that shit, man. He's a dope dude. He's a dope dude. He came from that Radio Clan era of shit too.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and a lot of people definitely underplay the amount of success that came out of Space Ghost Perps collaborations.
Hell yeah, bro.
Almost everyone that guy touched as underground artists ended up going on to launch massive solo careers, even if they're not on mainstream.
Facts. Like, almost everybody that he touched can have a lasting career on some underground shit if they wanted to. Even if it's not big mainstream, like you said, they can have that lasting career.
Well, those guys all, I think a lot of them are really responsible for the formula that's presented today with the underground, like the Triple X Tentacions.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
All these people kind of followed that formula of keeping that cult following.
Yeah.
With their music, they went straight to their fans. They kept it for their fans.
That's a fact.
And those same people are going to turn up at those shows
all
10 years from now.
Fucking right, man. I was listening. Since I've been doing this Rage project. Rage 2 is, the new project I'm working on.
Yeah.
I've been diving back into old 3-6, old Memphis, old funk type shit. And like, that sound is literally the sound of today. Yeah. It amazes me because like, you'll hear them on a track, and it'd be that year. You'll hear them on the track like, yeah, doing this for the 9-5 or doing this for like the 9-3 or some shit like that. It's like, yo, this fucking beat sounds like if it had got mixed a little bit better, it would have sounded like some shit Mike Will did. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. It amazes me how ahead of the time they were, and how their music can even get reinvented. But it's still their music.
And the craziest thing about the inspiration from 3-6 is a lot of the new sound that's came out, it's definitely 3-6 inspired, but back then those weren't the sounds that 3-6 was using to get their biggest hits.
I always thought about that.
It's crazy because if you listen to like the Stay High,
Riding
sipping on some
Spinners.
syrup. Those were all like more mainstream beats at the time.
Thanks. And even those were ahead of their time.
Even those were ahead of
Facts.
their time.
That's just crazy.
I would have known how big lean culture would have truly gotten.
Fam, I think about that shit all the time. Like I was playing. It's funny. It's a parallel. So I always zone in on like 92 to 98, 99, 36. That's the shit that I'm just like in love with. But I love their other shit too. I love the Unbreakables. I love Most Known Unknown. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love all that shit. When the Smoke Clears, I love all that shit too. But I the other shit's my number one. But at the same time, when I listen to like Thrii Project Patch solo shit, I'm like, fam, I love this shit. This shit is amazing. This shit is like, it's so fucking forward thinking, but it's just the shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they have like two different sounds that are so far left from what everybody was doing, but it came to become like the new shit. Both of them sounds. That's crazy.
And even the visuals from back in that time. Two names definitely stand out to me today with the way album art has reemerged from the past.
Right.
And that would be Big Bear on the Doing Things album.
Big Bear.
When he had the pen and pixel.
Oh, yeah.
And then the guy who brought it back, which was actually through Raider Clan, who designed Space Ghost Perps Blackland 66.6. A lot of people don't know he's from Richmond, Little Ugly Man.
He designed that?
Little Ugly Man designed the cover art
I never knew that.
Blackland 66.6.
I never knew. That's how I found Space Ghost too. I never knew that.
Was through Little Ugly Man.
No, I found. That's funny. I
found
the
Blackland tape.
Yeah, that's how I found Space Ghost, and I found Little Ugly Man through Space Ghost on God of Black album when he did Swerving with Denzel Curry. I was like, who the fuck is that on the second verse? Little Ugly Man? Word, he's dope. Then like years later I found out he's from Richmond. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's the same. Dope. I was really into Little Ugly Man, and I never knew he was from the city. And a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, I mean, he keeps such a hidden personality.
Facts.
I think you can probably count on 4 hands how many shows he's done.
Yeah, or
in
how
his
many
entire career.
I probably see that dude all the fucking time and never realized it.
Yeah, I mean, he's that off the radar visually.
Facts.
People know him heavily through his catalog, but
yeah. Fucking the dude, the Needle Drop. You ever watch that guy?
The Needle Drop.
Yeah, he's like a YouTube music reviewer. He's like a bald head dude with glasses, but
oh, you know what? I just seen an interview with him, and it was somebody was interviewing him.
Oh shit.
And I can't remember who it was, but yeah, definitely. I definitely know who you're talking about
That's
now.
my
I didn't
guy.
know that was his channel.
Yeah, that's my guy. I watched that. I've been watching that dude for years and years and years. But it was crazy because he even interviewed I think 2 or 3 of Ugly Man's projects. I was like, wow, that's nuts how big Ugly Man is.
Yeah, a lot of people. Curry, when he had his first big Noisy interview. When he did the Noisy interview, they asked him like what was his biggest feature, you know, back when he was talking about the Young Lean feature.
Oh shit, yeah.
Bitch named Bitch, and he was like, Young Lean is fucking garbage, and they were like, well, what's your favorite feature? And he was Little Ugly Man.
Little Ugly Man.
I couldn't believe Little Ugly Man jumped on my project. Dude.
That's fucking, cause he's a mystery. He's like he falls in a line with those Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, fucking those artists that are like really hard to find or like real mysterious, but the mystique of them creates a bigger face to face, you know what I'm saying, than if they were actually out in public.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I think that it complemented his cult following and his success by staying like that.
Fuck yeah.
So we're gonna jump back in on another question. Do you ever see another Tribe album coming?
Nah, yo, nah. And the funny thing is, that night of the Father Show, we actually changed our name. Well, they changed their names. So I met Tribe. This is a funny story too. We were all in Hermitage High School. It was me, my brother John, and Dez and Levi. Levi's the Clash. We were all like making music at Dez's house, and one day I think Keezy just came up to me and was like, "Yo, you know who make music or some shit like that?" And I was like, "Do I know who make music, man? I'm the fucking music guy, man." You know what I'm saying? Like, the fucking what? I've been looking for people to make music too. So he came over Dez's house and just played the fucking crazy at that time. 2010, 2009, I was like, yo, these fucking beats are nuts, bro. Like, what the fuck type of drugs are you on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shits were fucking dope. So then we started recording at Keezy's crib, which happened to be right around the corner from Dez's crib. He has two brothers, and we all just like, at the same time though, we were all getting into the spiritual fucking consciousness shit, you know what I'm saying? So fucking getting into the spiritual conscious shit, we just all like started growing our hair and you know what I'm saying, like meditating and shit like that. And we all like built this bond. So him and his brothers were from Charlottesville. And before they met us, they had like, you know, their whole life. They had friends up in Charlottesville. So we used to smoke and take trips to Charlottesville, and their friends made music too. So they were calling themselves the Tribe.
Is that Graham Vice?
Yeah, Graham Vice,
Graham Vice,
Sasuke, Zero G, Simiteo, the homies, man. So they were calling themselves the Tribe, and at the same time of that, me, Dez, and Clash Levi, we were calling ourselves Dimensional Minds with Keezy. So Keezy was in like these two groups, and we all just collided and made dope music, and you know, just all became big fucking brothers. So when I started having my foot in the door of making music and doing like the performances in the hip hop scene, in the Richmond hip hop scene, it was like they were seeing that from Charlottesville, and it's like, yo, we gotta get on that wave, we gotta do that. So I booked the Father Show. They came down, and there was a King Richie situation with the Tribe. They were like, no, we're the Tribe just performing. We paid our money.
The White Tribe.
Yeah.
The White Tribe.
The White Tribe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yo, so they had their whole little thing, and we sat there behind the I think we were outside on the balcony smoking, and we were like, yo, we can't go through this no more. Cause I think it was like the second time we went through this. We were like, yo, we can't go through this no more. We gotta change our names. So that night, we actually changed our names to Dimensional Minds.
I remember that.
Yeah. It was that fucking night. And then, but yeah, we know it probably won't be anymore, man. Cause those, you know, like, I noticed, one thing I noticed about this whole music shit and like, even life in general. Some people just, you know, grow. You know what I'm saying? So the person you were or the type of shit that you were into back in the day just probably isn't the same shit that you'll be into, you know, next year or the year after that. So, you know, they went their separate ways, and they're still my brothers. They can still call me at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I had the 10th anniversary for the mixtape, you know, all of them came out and was like, yo, congratulations, like that's crazy. And I talked to Keezy and was like, yo, 10 years ago, bro, like that's fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It is.
That's a mystery figure right there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I remember
he is.
one day he just like told me, he was like, yo, I'm going back to the 434, and I'm like, what?
Yo!
And I never heard from him again. And
Real
the
shit.
last that I did hear, I think, was from Grand Vice, that he was actually working with some people that were involved with the Empire show.
I did hear that. I remember that shit. That's funny. Yeah.
I've always wanted to get back with him and
Damn.
talk about that.
I always say, whenever I get my like debut studio label album, I got to get back with Keezy.
Definitely.
I had to lock that energy back in, because the music we were making back then isn't better, or it wasn't like better than the music I'm making now, but it was much more free. Like it was just like so cool, because I didn't have to play engineer. You know what I'm saying? Like Keezy we made beats together, so the beats came out dope, and he always had this fucking brain that like I started developing and shit of like the engineer and where to take like how to take a fucking song and make it a fucking song. So yeah, when I ever get that chance, bro, if I could just pay him off and be like, bro, come fucking move to Cali for a little bit, let's knock that shit out. So yeah, that's still my brother though.
That would be awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
Anyone that knows Keezy and people that don't.
Facts.
If you've ever seen that guy make a beat, I've invited him over to my house to work on a project, and like I'll get tired of like working on the same beat after like 2 hours.
Yeah.
That man has locked me out of a fucking room in my own house to continue making a beat. And that's no bullshit. I've seen him like pour sweat sitting at a laptop and just like continuing to like make some of the dopest shit.
He is the definition of focus when he gets into that mode, especially when he smoked too. Like that was pretty funny for that Wonderland project, the one that turned 10 or whatever. I quit smoking at that time, and they were still smoking, and I told Keezy, I was like, yo, I don't really want nobody smoking while I'm making. It's a weird demand, but I was like, yo, can nobody smoke while we making this project? So he stopped smoking a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He would smoke beforehand, but he was like, all right, let's work on this shit, and then when that's done, I'll smoke or whatever. But I noticed, like, that was even taking him out of his... That wouldn't take him out of his element. He was still locked the fuck in, like... But when he smoked, that dude was, like, super locked in. And sometimes the shit might not even come out, but... No, he's fucking great. He's one of the greatest producers. And, yeah, we gotta get him back, man.
We definitely do. I remember we dropped a track together called 804 Shit.
Hey.
And he made the beat for that mostly. I helped him as much as I could.
Facts.
And that was actually when I found out he was from Charlottesville, because we did this 804 Shit song, and he's like, from the 434, and I'm like, oh shit, like I fucked up. Should have put 804 434 shit. And but that song grabbed people that I had no idea were listening to my music at the time. Because probably my second or third Face Melt show, Illatongues came up to me and was like, yo, ain't you the dude that dropped that 804 Shit song? And I was like, what?
That's fire.
How do you even know about that?
Yeah.
Like, that's in the nether realms of fucking SoundCloud.
Facts. Word travels fast in Richmond, bro.
It does. And
word travels fast.
One thing Keezy taught me is, like, don't underrate who's listening to you.
Facts.
Because he was showing me a lot of stuff, and I do believe him, like, a lot of his beats. And then he would go on to show me, like, a Future song with such a similar beat that came out after he released that. And he was like, he would get, like, real paranoid on. He was like, dude, I think Future is, like, watching my SoundCloud. But when you listen to his beats and see, like, what came out of that, and I think it was the Brain Waves or something like that was the instrumental tape he dropped.
Yeah.
And it was so similar. And
Facts.
That was blowing my mind back then. I'm like, dude, is Future really scanning us? Like...
Yo, Keezy is fucking dope. Matter of fact, we as a group, as a unit, had that happen so many fucking times. It's kind of funny though. Keezy had that happen with Future and some Waka shit from back in the day. Clash had that shit happen. Clash really got his shit stolen. I know he doesn't want me to talk about it, so I probably won't talk about it. But Clash got his shit stolen from major artists twice, and that shit was nuts. I got some shit stolen from like a major artist around the same camp as Clash. That shit was pretty weird.
That shit remember when Bateman, shout out Bateman.
Shout out Bateman, man.
I don't want to get in the middle of this beef, but he dropped that track with Project Pat.
Yeah.
And word had circulated that it was a LG beat. And when you did that show with, you said his name is Augustine, the guitar player?
Yeah, Augustine. Shout out Austin.
That night, LG was outside the venue, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, I heard you got like a production on a track with Project Pat and Bateman. He's like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Well, that never got brought up again, but I seen on Facebook the other day, he actually did reference that and said that he never got any credits or even a shout out or anything from Bateman on that track.
Wow. I never knew nothing about that.
LG's such as, like, you won't know he's getting ready to come at you.
Oh, yeah, facts.
Like,
No,
he's not like a
dude.
very petty guy.
No, hell no. Hell no. Super genuine, just like, he's one of those dudes you ever hear, like, watch out for the quiet ones. He's one of those dudes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I remember when he had the outward Kai Rue beef.
Ah, yeah.
Where he said, I hope you and your family get deported back to Kenya. Stay the fuck out of Virginia. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was not expecting that from such a genuinely nice guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. You fuck with him, man. You gonna get the horns, bro.
And before I knew that beef was, I knew it was, they had like a falling out. Kai Rue had hit me up and came over to record, and no disrespect to Kai Rue, squashed it since then.
Yeah.
But he came over and tried to like turn up in my studio, and like I had to shut that shit down.
Oh shit.
And I ended up talking with LG before that, and he's like, don't do it. He's like, he's gonna come in there and just get bougie as fuck on you, and he's gonna start tripping. And sure enough, that's like exactly what had happened, and I learned a lot from LG. If LG says steer clear of the situation,
thanks. LG,
steer
man.
clear.
LG,
I hope the two of them have patched it up. Both dope artists in my mind.
Absolutely. LG and fucking Keezy are like weird shamans or some shit. Like they have this fucking, you know what I'm saying? They have like this sixth sense about them to where they know some shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause they can go crazy on these beats and they like put this dimension of sounds together, but then on the outside shit, hey, you might want to listen to them dudes, because them dudes know some shit.
They do, and definitely both are fucking very humble.
Facts.
Very humble. They're not like out there like, you'll fuck this dude or anything like that. I mean, they're genuinely dropping jewels. If they've got like a problem with someone, it's like, hey, watch out for them. Because these dudes will work with anybody.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah, man. Love those dudes, man.
So, after Thrii, we have the Magic Treehouse.
Is that after? Yeah.
That wasn't the next project, but
But
the
it
most
was...
recent one before this one that you're getting ready to put out now, right?
Yeah. Flower in the Pot, Magic Treehouse.
That project was insane, by the way.
Appreciate that.
But I noticed that one really started catching a lot of people.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What inspired that project?
So that was the project actually that I just said a few minutes ago or an hour ago, however long. Fucking, I had to get rid of a project, and I wanted Gritty. I trusted Gritty City with it. You know what I'm saying? That was the project released with them. It was really an alley-oop project. Like, it was just like, at that time, I had made that year, the 2 years before that. The 2 years before that project, I had made like 500 fucking songs with my boy WAP, Clash, all the homies. I just made like 500 fucking songs. Like, that shit was nuts. Like, I was just recording so much. But I had came up with a new style. I had worked on different type of beats. I had worked, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just mastering my craft. So I was like, with this shit, I gotta release something. You know what I'm saying? I was getting a battery in my back. And I think I had recorded the intro first and recorded something else before the intro. Around the time I did that. Oh, the second part to Magic Treehouse. Because there's a two-part, like there's a second part. Recorded those two songs individually, and I was like, man, these shits is like different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta do something about them. So as I'm recording the songs, Sneeze actually comes into play, and I see how hungry this kid is. Like, I met him when he was 16, 16, and I just see how fucking hungry he is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a fucking lyricist, like fucking just mind blowing for that age to be so fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? So I see his hunger, and I see his dreams, and I see like his aspiration, and he starts picking up traction with some other shit. And to me, I was just like, fam, I gotta get back into it. I've been so lost on this train of fucking breakups and getting my life together from when I had just got out of being homeless from LA and shit. So I was like, yo, like, I lost my way a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get back on this shit. So I started making a flower in the pot. Didn't really have a concept to it at first, but then like as everything was going, got it all together, sent it to Sig. Sig was like, yo, this is fucking dope. Like, what the fuck? Sent it to a few other homies. They was like, yo, this is the shit you've been working on. Like, this shit's fucking dope. And I had released Magic Treehouse. And when I had released Magic Treehouse, that shit, like, I think Magic Treehouse, I needed that shit. Because that shit brought me back. That shit brought me back to, like, where I needed to be.
Was working on that project where you caught the attention of Andrew Hypes?
Me and Andrew Hypes go back. I used to like do shows with him and Evan Barlow.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. And I just always acknowledged how dope they were. I can't remember exactly how me and Hype started working. I think it was from like OG Illa or something. But yeah, like we always like knew of each other and shit like that. But right after that project, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, because I remember the first time going to a studio, he was like, yo, people are really paying attention to you, man. Like, you really doing something. I was like, yeah, I guess you could say that. So, yeah. That's
Who did the photo shoot for the flower in the pot?
Me and Soul Shine, my best friend.
Soul Shine.
Yeah, Soul Shine. She's like the bestie, you know what I'm saying? We did some photography like 2 or 3 years ago, and ever since then, like, we always connect, and she always like, she brings the vibes, dog, you know what I'm saying? Like, she knows how to capture a scene, how to capture a moment. So when I was doing the project for Flower in the Pot, originally a Flower in the Pot was supposed to be I Am Happy, because I've been doing I Am Happy.
I remember seeing the post about I Am Happy.
Yeah, that's what that was originally supposed to be, but then I broke it down shorter, and I was like, okay, I Am Happy's coming after this. And I Am Happy's gonna come after Rage, hopefully. But
that'd be dope.
Yeah, right.
Rage and then I'm Happy. Like,
but that's
everything's
what I did.
Cool now. I got the Rage.
You know
out.
what I'm saying? That's exactly how it's supposed to go. So, fucking, I Am Happy. Yeah. Me and her was just working and getting a lot of shit done. And I was like, I want her to do my album cover because she pulls the softer side out of me. The more artistic side. I didn't want to do no thugged out shit. I didn't want to do no like shit that was like too general for the joint. So she was the one like, what do you want? And I was like, damn, a flower in a pot. You know what I'm saying? Get some flowers. And she came up with this idea. And I added on to it. And yeah.
Well, the visuals to that were definitely like an attraction to the project. I noticed. Right. It was like, a lot of people don't realize how important the visual aesthetic to your project is to get someone to listen.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. That shit's everything, man. You like I said earlier, you got to create those moments. You got to create shit for people to remember. Like, I remember, like, you know how big artists are, and you remember Michael Jackson with the red jacket. You remember Prince with whatever you know what I'm saying, whatever.
The purple suit with the white ruffles coming out the chest. I was wearing my Purple Rain shirt yesterday, actually.
Like, you remember these moments. You remember fucking Jay-Z for his New York fitted. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Yankee fitted. Like, you associate some, like, shit
speaking of Jay-Z, have you seen that Dame Dash just started his own media company again?
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
Yeah, see that? The rock band?
Hell yeah.
He goes by Billy Pablo the Third now.
Is that what he goes by? Yeah, that's funny.
He calls himself Billy Pablo the Third.
I seen he started that. I didn't even check it out. I remember when he started fucking Creative Control back in the day. That was fire.
Yeah, shout out Dame Dash.
Facts. Always finding a way to reinvent himself and shit. Hell yeah.
Never really seems to work well with people, though.
I was about to say, because, I mean, shit, you keep thinking you lose that humbleness to you, and you keep thinking like you the boss of everybody. People gonna be like, yo, I know you the boss of me, but calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's at least pretend this is some type of partnership. Don't flex on me, G.
Well, that's what he did with Jay-Z essentially in that meeting where he spazzed the fuck out on Def Jam.
Yeah, it was
Kept referring to him. What are y'all doing with my artist?
Damn,
Jay-Z had to be in that moment. That's my partner.
Exactly.
Not my fucking boss. That's my partner.
Exactly. We're partners, bro. Don't keep throwing around your authority like that. You know what I'm saying? Having too much power and don't know how to utilize it. Hell yeah.
Who is a huge artist that's out now that you would really look forward to working with? Who could you see yourself really meshing well with?
Meshing well with this new shit? Travis Scott, Post Malone, Roddy Ricch. Yeah, those guys. Those guys are like the number ones that I really want to work with.
That's dope.
Fuck yeah.
I could see all of those guys really, and I could really picture in my head a banger track coming out with all of those guys.
I gotta play you some of the new shit when I get it, like when I'm like settled in Cali and shit. I gotta play you some of the new shit. Like that shit is different. It's way different. Definitely
send me some copies of the tracks and the videos and stuff. We'll throw them up.
For sure. I got this one joint called Tear the Club Up. That might be the next like single that I push. Like I push Magic Treehouse and Crash Course and shit. That might be the next one, but I'm actually like man, that shit is so fucking dope. I'm doing the fucking Tear the Club Up. That shit is fucking, I don't know, man. That shit is so, it's like it's way different than what people probably expect from me. But if you know me, you know like, okay, this is some rap shit. You know what I'm saying? So can't wait to drop that shit.
So you had a single recently pop hard enough to end up on a Spotify playlist on a billboard in Times Square.
Fucking Times Square, bro. Yeah, hell yeah.
How did you feel about that one?
Man, that shit was random, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. The last few drops that I've been doing is kind of like experimenting. You know what I'm saying? Seeing like when I had dropped Flower in the Pot, a lot of people gravitated towards a record called Crash Course. And I was like, that's so different from me because it's like high energy, jumpy, you know what I'm saying? Like trap bass, you know what I'm saying? With some 3 6 Mafia on the influence on the back end. But people really loved that. And this dude from Arizona had wrote this article that was like, we love rap in the slower, you know what I'm saying, lyricist, chill vibe. Like that's where he masters at. But this new style, I wish he did more of that, and I kind of took that and ran with it, and I was like, yo, that's fucking fire. So that track that ended up on the Spotify playlist Thing, and a few other tracks that got coming out, Gifts Off and LA Nights, which Thing and Gifts Off are both produced by Andrew Hypes, and LA Nights is produced by M Mills, but fucking, I wanted to like test those songs. I want to test those songs out. You know what I'm saying? I want people to like listen to those and pick out what they really like. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got some singing songs. I got a whole bunch of shit. But yeah, those type of songs, man. I'm just dropping to like just really pick out like which like what do y'all really like from me? You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for so long. I can do this for forever. I can do all this shit for forever, but you know what I'm saying? I really want to lock down on something. And that's where this rage shit comes into play, too.
We spoke about this before on the Mythical First interview.
Mythical.
What I've always really most appreciated about your style is that it's approachable by any walk of the culture. You know, you can make tracks that really hit people that are out there on the street shit. You can hit people that just want to, like, kick it with their girl. You know, you got tracks that, you know, could be family friendly. You've got stuff that makes people want to dance. You know, that's such a major thing that a lot of artists right now, and I think the reason for short-term success nowadays is people get very linear. One lane and linear.
One-dimensional, yeah.
And never evolve their style. And
that's a super fact.
We were talking before about just like the evolution from songs like Strapped, which is a classic to me, to Funkomatic.
Right.
It's two completely different genres almost.
Absolutely. Two completely different like walks of life in a sense. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love being able to do that. I love existing in that world. And I love that the supporters can like pick that out too. You know what I'm saying? They could be like, yo, this song right here is fucking dope. And this song too. These are like two of my favorites from you. And I'll be like, those are two completely different songs.
But bangers.
But bangers nonetheless, yeah. Good music.
The first time, and we didn't speak about this last time, but the first time I heard Strapped was live at Suboka.
I did perform that live there. I've only performed that song like maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and it's one of those songs, and most people don't want this reaction.
Yeah.
But it's one of those songs in a crowded venue that makes you want to sit down. But not for the normal reasons that makes someone else want to sit down. It makes you want to sit down and hone in because you don't want to distract yourself with getting too hype or into the beat or anything. You want to sit down and focus on those lyrics because, and we spoke about it before, it's like you go from a very like barred out type of flow and you go really into some deep shit on that. And
of course, yeah, hell yeah.
We spoke about the hook before with you losing a child at the time, and
right, hell yeah.
That to me, to be able to put that stuff in your art is, it's like throwing yourself out on a cliff and you know, you definitely leaving yourself exposed to damage if someone's not there to catch you. And that was an amazing track to me.
I appreciate that.
It reminded me a lot of when Ace Hood rapped about it. It was some of the most touching lyrics, and it's stuff that real people go through.
Real people go through that shit. I've had people from other countries tell me about their experiences dealing with that shit. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's so crazy. Some of this shit, like, it seems like a troll, but then when it's actually executed, it'll be like, this is supposed to be like this. This is a serious thing. Like, so the intro to A Flower in a Pot is me detailing an abortion, a miscarriage on a trap beat. You know what I'm saying? Telling this fucking story on the intro to an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's super risky because people aren't gonna like, when you do the intros to album, you're supposed to like kind of not give your best song, but you're supposed to give a taste. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be like, okay, you know, ease them into it. You know, even if it's a hard fucking hidden song, it's still an ease into of what's to come throughout this album. You're not supposed to like turn people away. But I just went straight forward and was like, yo, this first verse of like, as soon as you turn the fucking song on, you're getting right into it. You're getting right into it. This is what the album's about. I hope you like the shack. I hope you can swallow the shock value of what's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't if you want to understand what my art is, you have to be able to deal with reality. You know what I'm saying? You have to be like, oh, this was cringy as fuck. I'm gonna continue listening. You know what I'm saying? So hell yeah.
And I just went in my phone. A guy just sent me this the other day. There's another artist that's really good at storytelling on a fucking hard trap beat. Have you heard of Trap Terrell?
No, I don't think so.
He's got some bangers.
Word?
If you ever want to listen to his stuff,
Hell
he's
yeah.
like one of them is I think they're true stories if I recall correctly. One about a friend of his who was with a real trapper, and she watched him die right in front of her in a robbery.
Oh shit!
And got the shit knocked out of her. Basically, his pistol whipped in the face several times, and
some reality rap, man.
To put that on a trap beat, though, it's gotta be one of the hardest things you can do because
fuck yeah.
If you look at the way in history, the way hip hop's played out, that's more left for like a maybe like a Nas or an Immortal Technique type vibe.
Exactly.
And you just don't typically see the way that you've handled your subject matter on the types of beats that you've chosen.
Right. And that's that is another thing too. I got this one dude from fucking, I forgot where he's from. I think he's from Spain. Hit me up and was like, yo, I love your lyrics. I went to your back catalog, loved your shit, but your beat selection ain't the best. And I was like, that's kind of fucked up for you to just flat out say, you know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, man, you could have just like made it a little easier. But I started thinking about it, and I was like, some songs that I have are too much of a moment to fit with either the album or it might be the subject matter that's like, okay, you're gonna bring me to this mood. You know what I'm saying? You're not even challenging the thought sometimes. So when I had did that intro, I was like, or even Strap, you know what I'm saying? Those type of records, I have to like make sure everything is attention grabbing. So the intro, it comes on with a vocal chop, and under the vocal chop is some filtered drums, you know what I'm saying? And as the shit comes in, it's some synths over here, it's some pianos, then it comes in with some, you know what I'm saying? It just builds up into this climax of me catching, you know, my ex bleeding on the floor type shit. Like, it climax where the story climax, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to, like, for now on, or from even, you know what I'm saying, just any music I make, I always want the moment. I always want it to be like a movie, you know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
And another big track that has always hit hard with me, I believe it was a Lil Skies remix. On the Fly Melodies beat, Had to Do It.
Had to Do It.
which is an insane fucking song.
That's my shit.
That was actually one of, when I look you up, it shows up instantly because it's one of the tracks that are on my like playlist on SoundCloud.
Hey, yeah, that's the only place
old
it's on
school.
too.
I think probably weren't really releasing on Tidal and stuff back then.
Nah, I wasn't at all. I had just uploaded my first albums to all that shit like last year.
And it's still actually setting on your top tracks.
Yeah. Cause that's
and Palm Trees.
Palm
That's
Trees.
crazy. Magic Treehouse Had to Do It, and then Palm Trees. Palm Trees is another one.
Palm Trees, man. That's I used to love performing that song, man.
I remember there was a show you did not that long ago. I mean, well, it's been a couple years probably,
right,
that you did it at Strange Matter, and there was some people, I think, in the crowd that hadn't discovered you yet.
Right.
But everybody was grabbed by it, and I'm like sitting there vibing with it, and I'm like, Palm Trees, finger roll, visualizing the top. And like they're like, oh shit, like this dude knows the lyrics to this shit. They're like looking at me, and I'm like, you're gonna know the lyrics to this shit by the time he's done with it, because you're gonna go home and you're gonna look it up.
Right.
And you said that your bigger influences being a lot of the West Coast music.
Thanks.
It definitely I wouldn't put it as like it gave me Kendrick Lamar vibes, but it definitely kind of gave me Kendrick Lamar vibes.
I will admit that a lot of on that album, the Forever Changes album, a lot of that shit was like strictly influenced by Kendrick Lamar for sure.
Yeah, so
that's
it
one
was.
Of the big one. Oh, hell yeah.
That's crazy that, like, but it wasn't that it reminded me of Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
It put you in the same bracket of a lyricist as Kendrick Lamar to me. And
I appreciate that.
A lot of people that don't know who you are, when they do discover your music, they're gonna be blown away by the catalog that you have, because you have a song like Funk-O-Matic, which is, don't get me wrong, very lyrical, very well composed with the bars,
right?
But then you go into a song like Palm Trees or Had to Do It, and you know, it's just so vast. Magic Treehouse,
Magic Tree, yeah, hell yeah.
All these tracks are so. It's like when you play like an old like RPG game, and they have like that web style of the skills.
Yeah,
where it's like
that
strength is peaked up here.
Facts.
You're like that maxed out fucking character with your catalog. It's like, okay, he's got bars.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got flow.
Facts.
All right, he's got that tough street shit. Okay, he's got shit that's gonna step outside of hip hop.
Facts. Yeah. Absolutely. A lot of that comes from growing up in the county and living where I was living inside of the county, or even just moving to like the city and like, you know, understanding the city and understanding like the country of Ashland and shit. It's like being exposed to so many different worlds, you know what I'm saying? That's just second nature to like indulge in those worlds. Like if I go to Ashland and they're indulging in Toby Keith and Garth Brooks, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking some shit from that shit. Or if I go to fucking Churchill and they're indulging in fucking Young Jeezy and Gucci and Lil Boosie, then you know I can mix that, or I can keep those. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just different variants of that.
And that's neat that you brought up the Toby Keith reference, because you're probably the only rapper that I know, and you actually got me a little bit more hip to it. I'm not too into it.
Right.
But we were somewhere and there was a Florida Georgia Line song playing. I think, is that who did the Let It Be?
Let It Be. Oh, let it be, let it be.
Yeah, there he goes again. And I was like, oh shit, like, that was like when I realized, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy knows a lot of fucking music. And
yeah.
I think a lot of artists should take that as like, yo, maybe I should open up my mind a little bit and start going into other music, because
why not?
Not only that, but even country music nowadays is a derivative of hip hop almost. Mm-hmm. Almost everyone, even the rock bands, country bands, they're all using trap beats, if you notice anymore. And it's like, so they've opened their minds up and they've reached over the fence and dipped their hands into hip hop.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people would benefit from doing the same on the other end.
Absolutely. One of the things that about the music, about hip hop being my number one, you know what I'm saying? About my, like, I can make the pop music, I can make whatever the music is, but with hip hop being my number one of the things I always stay true to is making sure that, like you said, when the country comes over the fence, or when the rock comes over the fence, or when you know what I'm saying, whenever that shit comes over the fence, I want to be able to, I want people to look at it and be like, they're not just, how do I say it? They can use it, but we have somebody, or we have people that can use y'all styles too that already exist here. So it doesn't always have to be a stealing thing. It's like, yo, we can borrow from each other. Some dude on Facebook said a couple months ago that he was like, yo, check out Reppa Ton, because he really puts his influences from outside of hip hop and brings it into hip hop. And I was like, damn, bro, how did you even know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool that somebody could realize that, but that's a true fact. Like, some of the stories I tell, or some of like the punchlines, or some of the melodies would actually come from some old rock shit, you know what I'm saying, or some old whatever shit, and just taking from those different places and putting it into hip hop, and like, yo, this can exist here, you know what I'm saying? We don't always have to do the Migos flow, you know what I'm saying? We don't always have to do the straight barred Nas flow, you know what I'm saying? Kendrick flow, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could, it's music. We can use our voice as a fucking instrument, you know what I'm saying? And create all these different flows, create all these different stories. Man, fucking country has some of the best stories of all time, man. That shit is like, I don't even know how they do it, but they just have like some real heartfelt ass stories. So, man, we could tell those same fucking stories in hip hop, you know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? So yeah, that's where a lot of that comes from, for sure.
Who's the I just watched an interview with him, and his name's on the tip of my tongue. He's a country rap artist that's really blowing up right now.
Country rap artist? I don't know. I probably don't know him.
Yeah, never mind him. But I was watching like his interview, and like how he's like caught a lot of flack from being like this like country guy that's going into it. But he also was like kind of discouraged by a lot of the other country rappers. It is gimmicky at times.
Right. Hell yeah.
Like, you have guys that are like, they'll shoot a video of them riding four-wheelers through a field, and they make it as though they're like these like legit country dudes doing hip-hops, and really they're biting country.
Yeah.
Trying just to appeal, and
that's a fact.
Like clout chasing, more or less. And that's another big thing. Like, if people don't know, they will if they actually get into studying you, because
Thanks.
you really pay attention to all cultures and defend them.
Absolutely.
Like, I've seen the other day, you were getting pretty pissed at people wearing band t-shirts but not knowing the band that they're even wearing.
Yo, real shit. And I had gotten I mean, if you look a little bit into the comments of that shit, I got a little bit ticked off with OG Illa. Shout out OG Illa. That's my boy, man. He's been my boy for forever. But I got a little ticked off with him because I was like, you're saying you wear this for a fashion, and you don't even know what these dudes stand for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's anti-Trump. So I was like, you know some of these dudes support the dude that you, like, are anti of? And you're just walking, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just didn't make sense. But also, even from out of that standpoint, these are fucking awesome bands. These are fucking amazing music, man. Get yourself hip. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually love that shit, or actually like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you don't like it, like, I don't know, man. I just wouldn't be a fan. I just wouldn't wear some shit that I'm not, like, a fan of. You know what I'm saying?
At least hip to,
Or
if
hip
nothing
to.
else.
Hip to. There we go. Hip to.
To
yeah.
at least know what you're representing on your chest. I mean, you don't know, these guys could be neo-Nazi fucking skinheads, and I mean,
exactly. Like, that was my whole thing with that shit. But yeah, man, I be seeing shorties in the projects with, like, fucking Iron Maiden shit on. I'm like, don't listen to fucking
they don't even know who Bruce
shit.
Dickinson is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, nah, B.
And so what do you think is going on with the world today? Like, what's your opinion on that, with, like, this Trump impeachment and the riots at the Capitol?
It's crazy, dog. Speaking of dog, all right, my man, you gotta get up. But it's crazy, dog. It's super crazy. Like, but I can't say I didn't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has to exist for the world to turn. So it is what it is to me.
Were you at any time a Trump supporter?
Hell fucking no.
I'm right with you, man.
Hell no.
I honestly, I don't. After, like, I've been watching the impeachment videos on television, the live impeachment sessions that have been going on, and it's almost crazy the level of support that he's getting from his supporters still at this point, when he's directly tweeted for people to prepare for combat, march to the Capitol. Like, he definitely incited
a fucking riot, dog.
Exactly. And, you know, RIP to a lot of the supporters of his have lost their lives in the middle of this, because I don't feel like a lot of people really grasp the gravity of what he stands for, or what he's enacted and caused in the world today.
And if they did, I'm one of those people, man. Me and Siggs had this conversation one time. We was riding through fucking Lynchburg. I'm one of those people, like, I understand, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very understanding person, so I feel like everybody has their view on whatever happened in their life, or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, is their perception of how the world is. Everybody has a view for how to make the world, right by them. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes sense to them. So I'm not mad at people for doing shit or having their views, or Trump being the person that he is, for real. I'm not mad at that shit, but I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah, I can't fuck with it either.
I can't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do. I can't be the person to be like, well, why do we have Trump in office anyway? Da, da, da. I was like, y'all, if y'all wanted him in there, at least understand who that dude is. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Y'all know he's a money hungry dude. We've watched him on TV for mad years. G. You know what I'm saying?
He'll step on anyone to get where he wants to go and do what he wants to do. That it's never been about the American people.
Exactly, dog.
Because if that was the case, he's had the money, he's had the power to make changes
years
at a monumental pace long before he was a president. He didn't have to, and you know, in a sense, it's kind of exciting to see someone who wasn't a politician be able to make it into office. But I would like to push that bill even further and see someone who's really ready to make a positive change.
Fuck yeah.
Shout out Joe Biden, though, because he's done a lot of things since he's been in office.
Yeah, in his first 100 days. Not even 100 days yet. He's been working.
Yeah.
I'm all for... I was all for, before the Trump shit happened, I was all for, man, keep politicians in politics. Don't bring nobody else into the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep just everybody, stop trying to go inside of everybody's genre. Or, you know what I'm saying? Go inside everybody's category. Everybody doesn't have to fit there, which is kind of contradictory for me for say when I be jumping in and out of different genres of music. But just stick to what you know best and what you can actually do, because you're going to get a better outcome than just like, I feel like I want to do this today and just go fuck off something and fuck up a whole nation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real shit.
And that's exactly what it was. It was like this whole presidency is more like a fucking press run for him to just salute his brand or support his brand.
Real
and
shit.
To the level that he's done it is absolutely insane.
Real shit.
So now to bounce off of politics, we talked about major artists that you would like to work with. What are some of the local guys that maybe you haven't had a chance to work with that you would really want to be on a track with or do a project with?
Word. I definitely want to work with some of the legends in the city. You know what I'm saying? I actually got some shit I can't really speak about, but I got some shit with Nick F coming. I want to work with Noah O. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't yet?
I still haven't worked.
You like, still haven't done a project with Noah.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like we still talking about, you know, whatever we talking about, but I definitely want to work with Noah O. It's a lot of people. I want to work with those Mutant Academy guys. I want to work with Divine Council, like we talked about, like a few of those dudes.
Yeah, that would be insane.
That'll be fire. I still want to like officially drop some shit with my Golf Money guys again. Go back to that element, and I don't know. It's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. I just be so focused on like the next level of shit that I want to get to the next level so I can bring people up. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing of me forgetting about the city or just like just overlooking the city, but I just want to get to the position where I can bring people up. You know what I'm saying? Like if I work with somebody here, I can help their career or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do some shit like that, cuz I'm not the biggest collaborative dude. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of years like as a youth in my room working on my craft or like, you know what I'm saying, being alone type shit. So it's just never been me to be a full collaborative dude. But yeah, when I get to that position to where I could just hand the beat off and somebody can get like 16,000 plays off of just being on my beat type shit, I want to do something like that, man.
You ever gotten the chance to work with Lick on a project?
Hell no. I sent them some beats way back in the day. Like,
did he give you the same response he gave me? I'm just not fucking with this.
Nah.
It'd be like epic beats too, man. I'm just like, and he'd be like, I mean, that's dope, bro, but that's not my style. And he's so fucking picky.
I was about to say, he's a picky dude. Like I even asked him like, yo, could you narrate some shit on my project? He was like, nah, but you can come into the studio, or you can come into the radio station and, you know, record what I'm saying. I was like, no, bro, that's not what I want, man. Like,
yeah, Lick is so. He's I don't want to call him like. He's definitely not non-helpful because he's pushed the bill for a lot of people to get a platform in the city.
Absolutely,
but he's very introverted as far as working with anyone else.
Facts. Yeah, he definitely keeps his art, and his personality and his person. So that's one thing I definitely respect. Actually, Lick told me one of the biggest things ever, and I always, to this day, always think about it. He said, value your position, know your worth, know your position and shit, understand your position, understand your own celebrity type shit. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, at certain times when I was like, when I was first starting off, I would understand like, damn, I can't immediately be on a bill with fucking Nick F. You know what I'm saying? I can't immediately be on a bill with these dudes unless I put that work in. So when I started putting the work in and I started realizing the bills were getting different, I was like, oh. Then people, coming up to me and saying things and, just different, like building that spider web, building this fucking legacy and shit, or building the celebrity, quote unquote. I understand that it's some shit that I did back in the day I can't do no more type shit. Like free beats, I used to flush out
$5 beats even.
Even $5.
I got $5 beats from you.
Exactly, like doing that shit. I can't do that shit no more because like it really waters down the product. It really waters down your position for real. People just gonna be like, oh, I could just.
It devalues the worth of what you're putting out.
Exactly. People are not gonna look at you like you're worth that much, man. Like, oh yeah, you want a beat from Rep? You get that shit for $5, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it overworks and undervalues.
Absolutely.
Overworks and undervalues.
Absolutely.
And I would definitely say that your time is very valuable. You've done a lot. With the amount of time that you've been on the scene, you've done a lot.
That's a fact. I be thinking about that all the time. Man.
Now to see you making the moves where you're staying in Cali, right, and more so at this point, just kind of coming back to visit, and
real shit.
I'm definitely proud to have seen the growth just from the time that I entered the timeline of Reppa Ton, witnessing it until now, and then there's people like Lick and RT that have seen you from the very beginning to now. Imagine that their minds have to be blown to have seen you in the beginning phases to making the moves that you are right now. And that, I think, is going to be your evolution, is going to be your biggest key to your success because you've never stopped evolving.
Right. I hear that all the time, actually. Actually, Lick, for the first time, he's going to get mad that I said this, but for the first time ever, he said that he was proud of me the other day. When I told him I was moving back to Cali, he was like, man, I see this whole year I've seen what you've been doing. Like, I'm really proud of the person you're becoming and shit. And I was like, man, that means a lot, dog. You know what I'm saying? That means a fucking lot.
Lick has never told me he was proud of me. I feel like this fucking this son that's always looking at their dad like, you proud of me yet?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And from
I feel
now
you.
I will say, I did a show for him one time, and something had happened, and most of the neighbor clan kind of just left me in the cold that night.
Damn.
Not on some personal shit. They all had shit to do.
Right.
But I was pissed.
Right.
And I went home and I was like, fuck rap. I'm fucking done.
Facts.
Of course, you don't really feel it. You just vent your shit on your story.
Upset.
And Lick did come in and tell me that he was proud of where I've come as a person, never with my music. He's like, I remember your first show to now, and I'm like, don't fucking quit. You killed shit tonight.
That's more or less what he says.
And
that's definitely more or less what he says.
I remember we were talking the last time, the first show. I thought he was this fucking I don't want to say Joe Budden.
Yeah.
But I just thought he was just this angry, fucking scowling,
Facts, that scowling look.
Yeah, and
I hear that from everybody.
I told you, he put me last on the first bill that I ever did, my first ever show. And I had this, fantasy, and that's what comes back to know your position.
Facts.
I had this fantasy, yo, I'm gonna do my first show, and I'm gonna blow the fuck up.
Facts, hell yeah.
It's soon as these fucking people see these nuts drop on the stage, they're all gonna want to suck this dick. You know?
Real shit.
Going last, I was so pissed off, and I went up to Lick and tried to kind of almost turn up on him. And I was like, look, I want my money back.
Facts.
2-letter word came out of his mouth, and that was it. No. And I was like, I didn't know how to take that.
Back,
I'm like, what? He said no. And I'm like, well, you know what? Fuck this, man. I'm going to go ahead and dip anyway. I don't care. I'm not going to perform on the slot with 3 to 4 people in the club.
Right.
And he kind of hand on the shoulder of me and was like, look, you've got the choice to walk out of this venue. Right. Every artist has the choice to just give it up and quit. But he told me, it's like, if you walk out of this venue, I'm not going to give you another shot.
Real shit.
If you do the performance, it's not guaranteed that I'm going to give you another shot. But if you show me some shit that I like, I'll make sure that you get a better chance the next time. And make the story short, I did end up performing that night, and it did lead to a lot more shows with Lick and a lot more of a growing relationship.
Yeah, hell fucking yeah. He did that. I mean, I feel like he does that to everybody that he sees something in, because he definitely did that to me. Matter of fact, me and Lick, when I first started coming to the radio station and I was performing at the Face Melts as well, he would be on the radio station and he'd be rapping, you know, freestyling like they do at the station, and he would always like, I always look at the RT and be like, yo, is he talking to me? Like while he's rapping, I'm like, yo, is he fucking talking to me?
Bro, you felt that too?
Yeah.
Like, cause the guy fucking like, I was picking on him one time.
Right.
Cause like he stares like straight down when he raps.
Fact.
And you're like you're in the radio station with him. And I remember I made a joke with him one time on the radio. I'm like, Black Liquid, his mixing board has lyrics written on it somewhere, because he's staring at that mixing board and just going off.
And just going.
And he never fucking stops. I've never seen him choke. I've never seen him stutter.
Never.
He just continuously keeps flowing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't cuss.
Facts.
And to be able to do that every week, twice a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he has two shows, right? He's got the
WDCE or some shit like that. And
then WRIR.
Right.
And he's doing this 2 nights a week. And I mean, I've seen Lick go in on 20-minute freestyles.
Facts.
Like effortlessly.
Facts, man. I seen that shit all the time, my bad. I used to always think he was talking to me, because he would say something like, I would post something on Twitter. He used to get on me early about this shit. Post something on Twitter or post something on Facebook, Instagram, wherever. And he would be talking about it at the radio station. Such and such, your girl cheated on you, but you feel like this and that. And he would just go. But then he would have like a lesson like a message at the end, like, but you gotta keep going because your last show was better than before. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, this motherfucker talking about me?
Yo, I've had that same exact feeling. Like, these rappers think they're gonna get a slot on my show.
Yeah, and I'd be like, yo,
it's
you
like
venting? Like, what the fuck? So then I called RT and BC one day. And I was like, yo, I think I'm gonna have to fight this dude, Lick, man. Like, I feel like he's telling my business and talking about me on the joint. And they were both like, yo, Lick sees something in you that he doesn't see in a lot of people. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means, man. Just tell him to stop that shit. But then I went to the radio station one time, and we had a conversation. He was like, yeah, man, I'm trying to, like, you know, I'm telling you through the rhymes or whatever, like, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world can see it. If the world can hear me rap about it, the world sees that shit. And that kind of taught me how to, like, basically conduct myself on social media. I still do some funny shit on social. You know what I'm saying? But like, it kind of put me in a narrow, like, yo, you are that position. You are that image of what people see. So if they see you talking about your girlfriend cheating on you all the time and all this other crazy shit, they're gonna be like, oh, who the fuck is this Reppa Ton dude? Like, yeah, this fucking weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Like, I came here to fucking feel vibes, not like fucking like see this dude.
Yeah, his life's going
debilitate
to shit.
Like right in front of me.
Yeah, real shit.
And I've noticed Lick, and I've kind of followed his story. He's got a really deep story in life,
sure.
And I've noticed he's always found a way to put a positive spin on everything. And some of the things that I've kept up with him on his story, we're not going to get into that. I'm going to hopefully save it for the interview with Lick. Yeah. But for someone to always stay that positive, and there was even one occasion, I'm not going to go into it too much. Right. I don't know if he knew that I kind of low-key sneak dissed him on Facebook one time. He immediately commented on my post, and I was like, and he won't even respond to me if I comment on his post a lot of times, unless it's something that'll make him laugh or he's interested in.
Facts.
So he came in and commented on that post, and I'm like, holy shit, like, he knows I kind of sneak dissed him. That might be bad. I should have not did that, being that I'm getting ready to go to him again and ask him for a show slot.
Right.
But what he said to me was very constructive even in that moment. He's always found a way, even with my negativity towards him.
For sure.
Found a way to find a positive outlook on it.
For sure.
And in
the
end, I end up growing.
Absolutely.
Whatever I go through with him.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's always been there to do that. To definitely do that. I'm real grateful to have him as a friend and a mentor type shit.
Would you say he's a mentor to?
Absolutely. I mean, like, I think we talked about this on the first joint. The performing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely get told about my performances a lot, and I owe that to it. I owe that a lot of that to Lick, because before that, excuse me, I'm watching like Kendrick Lamar and old performances of people and like how they perform and shit, and when I go to Face Melt and when I go to these other shows and I'm performing and I'm losing breath and I'm like not engaging, or you know what I'm saying, Lick used to always come up and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying, you lost breath on that third song. And I'd be like, man, who the fuck cares? But, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, if I can give a better show, I had to give a better show. I'm an entertainer. So I definitely took that note from him. I definitely took a lot of notes from that. On the Thrii album, he told me, oh, matter of fact, the first project that I released on the hip hop scene, he fucking demolished that shit with a review, because he used to write for RVA magazine. Demolished that shit on a review. And I was like, yo, fuck this dude, Lick, man. Like, yo, that's my first project, like, on the scene. Like, damn, bro, you ain't have to go in there like that. And so the next project comes out, and he, you know, he's like, yo, we had an interview about it, and he was like, yo, Joe Doja, rest in peace, Joe Doja. Noah O. He was naming all these, like, big staples. He was like, Black Lick, you know him. And he was like, you got to get used to Reppa Ton. These are the people who make Richmond what Richmond is. And I was like, damn, that meant a lot.
That's very true.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. And I always thought about that, because that was the first that was in 2015. So like the real project of me coming out type shit. So he said that then, and like that ultimately helped me understand, because when Thrii came out, that's what I was getting back to. Yeah, when Thrii came, he told me, he was like, "Yo, I love the mixing on. He said I love the content on there. I love the concepts. I love a lot of shit." He was like, "But towards the end of the project, you started losing topics. Like, you were rapping good, the beats were good, but you were losing that topic shit that you are known for." And I started thinking about it. I was like, "Damn, bro." You know what I'm saying? Like, so then when it took me like 3 years to make a real project after that, because I always kept that in mind. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, so mentorship types, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely call him a mentor, because I wouldn't be able to do a lot of shit without some of the shit that he's put in my ear. Or to stand out as much as I stand out. Like, a lot of the compliments that I get from a lot of shit has been from things directly told from him. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a definitely shout out Black Liquid.
Hell yeah, bro.
Shout out Black Liquid, big
shout
time.
Out. Yes, sir. Richmond legend.
Did you ever get a chance to work with Sleaze before he passed?
Oh, that's crazy.
R.I.P. Sleaze.
Oh, rest in peace, Sleaze. Honorable Sleaze. Sleazy Wonder. He sent me a beat a while ago. Maybe the year before he passed, actually. And I never got to record on it. I actually did record on it 2 years ago. I might still put it out on some random shit, but yeah, we were supposed to work on something. Actually, the last time I seen Sleaze, yeah, he actually saved my life. Actually, that's a funny story that nobody really knows about. He actually saved my life last time I seen him. He saved my life twice that nobody knows about. So shout out, rest in peace, Sleaze. Fucking, I was in the projects where he was living, in Gilpin, and fucking, I don't know, something clicked in my head. I was in a weird predicament. I was with the shorty out there, and I was like, for some reason I just knew him from living around there, and we didn't have a ride home. It was like this, like snowing outside, and some dudes, you know, it's like a lot of niggas out on the porch and shit. I was like, fuck, I'm not from here. How the fuck I'm supposed to get back home? And I was with my brother and shit. So I hit up Sleeves. I was like, yo, you. What was that? Oh.
Oh shit!
I was like, where's that noise coming from?
That's actually Sleeves track playing on the fucking phone
oh
right
shit!
there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
I didn't mean to hit the play button.
Yo.
Yeah, R.I.P. I mean,
right.
I didn't hit a button. You seen
that's
that?
Crazy. Yeah.
It just started playing, but
did it stop? Oh no. So fucking. Oh yeah. So I hit him up. I was like, yo, you in Gilpin? He was like, yeah, man. I said, yo, what you up to? He was like, outside smoking a cigarette. So ironically, his place wasn't through everybody. So we walked around and met up with him and chilled and shit, and then we finally caught a ride. And but yeah, that was a pretty weird ass situation. And then the second time we was at this show for Gritty City for the kids, and fucking. Rex, it was a dude. It's like this hip hop legend.
Rex, I remember Rex.
He made songs for like DJ Premier and shit like that. He was down, and I had got sauced, bro. I think I was moving to Cali that year, and so I was just so excited about the shit. Yeah, that show was in December. I moved to Cali in January, so I was so excited, man. I was getting drunk as fuck. I got so drunk that Rex came up to me, and he was like, "Yo, you nice," and I was like. Word, bro. I appreciate that. He was like, no, not in the lyrics. Like, you like, where I'm from, we say nice as in you fucked up. Like, you're drunk, bro. And I was like, damn. It's fucking...
Thought I caught a compliment, but now I'm just fucked up.
Yeah, I was like, nah, that's fucked up, bro. So I'm moping outside, just walking like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. And some shorty comes up, and she was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I'm fucked up. She was like, word? You trying to hop in this car? I was like, alright, yeah, fuck it at this point. So I get inside the car. Drunk, just obliterated. Get inside the car, and this bitch started kissing me, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on now? This bitch ain't even cute. So, my drunk ass, I'm kissing her back. I'm like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? YOLO. So, some weird shit. I like, not really pass out, but I black out for a second, and we end up at the Gritty City crib.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? How did we get here? Why are we here? Like, this is dope that we're here though, because these are the fellas, and I don't know you, bitch. You could have set me up. So we get inside and we start chilling, and we taking pictures with Rex. We, you know, drunk as fuck. Everybody chilling out. So everybody was like, yo, Rep, you really drunk. Like, yo, just go sit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can wear that shit off. I was like, all right, appreciate y'all. So I get on the couch. And the bitch starts going crazy. Like, she just, like, starts reaching down. Bang, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, going on some crazy shit. So, all I remember is Sleaze taking his hat and swatting the bitch off me. He's like, yo, leave him alone, yo. Leave him alone. And I'm looking up. I'm like, yo, thanks, my G. So, fucking, like, an hour later, Sleaze was like, yo, I'm about to dip. And he looking at the shorty, and the shorty's, like, still going. He was like, nah, B, you gotta go. He was like, nah, you gotta go. So he made the shorty get up and leave. So yeah, that was the second time that he saved my life. That's funny. That was the last time I seen him, actually.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. It was maybe like a week before he had ended up passing. He put out this like post. We always had like a real comical like back and forth with each other.
Facts.
And my best memories were always going to Face Melt and pre-gaming.
Yeah.
Go out to the car, smoke hella fucking weed, and before I even knew Sleaze, he just jumped in my back seat like, "Oh, y'all smoking blunts," and it was on. But I remember he put out like a post, and it was like, "Comment with this, and I'll tell you my first thought on you or whatever." And I did it. He was like, my first thought was like, this motherfucker off the Zans and the lean too much, and I was just like, oh shit, don't put me out there funny. Like that, Sleaze.
Yeah.
And then I think actually the last thing I commented was I put him on to 6 Dogs.
Wow.
And that was when the Flossin' track came out. He was like, put some shit down on my page that you listening to currently so I can get hip. I put that shit on there. He was like, yo, you a weird fucking dude, bro. But I was just thinking about him because he had that Hell on Wheels track, and that
Sleazy
shit is still sleazy as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and that shit's still stuck in my head to this day.
Hell yeah, bro! I love that shit, bro. I love that shit. Shout out to Sleaze, man. He was a good dude, real cool dude, man. He actually he's a big reason why I stay in touch with my health and shit. For sure.
You have to, because you never know, and it was such a shock. I think most people that didn't know him closely didn't even know he was going in for an operation. And
hell yeah.
That was a shock, man.
Hell fucking yeah, man. That shit was like it was so sudden though, because I think me and him was supposed to do a track, or I was supposed to meet up with the Gritty City Boys. At the time, they had this tattoo shop that they had a studio under. So, I was supposed to meet up with all of them there, and it was just a moment of just like, you know, Sleaze just passed. I was like, what the fuck? How? Like, that's random as fuck. And so they told me that shit. But, not ironically, but like, just strange enough, last year when I had went through my health shit, I was in the hospital bed, and fucking Siggs had checked up on me. And he was like, yo, you know what happened? And I told him what happened. And he was like, yo, that's crazy. He was like, Sleaze was practically going through the same shit or something like that. And I think Black Lick said somebody else was going through the same shit, but they was like, yo, make sure you know what I'm saying? Like, the Sleaze effect took so much toll on Gritty City that they just kept in contact throughout the whole time I was in the hospital, because it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We can't lose you to some shit like this too, like some health shit.
Right.
And yeah, so with knowing that, I've been on my health. I've been like spearheading on that shit, because I almost died in that fucking hospital. So
what's that?
Yeah, diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah, that's a real thing, man. Like, and that shit came out of nowhere too. So I've definitely been on my workout shit. My fucking, you know what I'm saying? I lost like 50 pounds. Like, yeah, man. That shit definitely makes sense. That shit, I always thought about that.
My longtime friend and producer, Robbie Parker, who we were talking about earlier,
right.
He has, I think it's type 2, where you have to take insulin every time you eat.
Yeah,
he has that, and he's been in the hospital quite a few times with some really serious scares, and
facts, bro.
That's scary when especially when you don't know that you have it, and all of a sudden you're finding out. It's like such a life change. You don't know what will I do that will
trigger that shit.
Exactly.
That's
my
real
own
shit.
Little brother, he's my height, and he's maybe 115 pounds right now on type 2 diabetes.
Oh, really? Yeah, bro. That's how that shit is. I didn't even like. The doctor said that I had that shit for so long that it was like fucking with some other shit, like some other organs and shit. But like, I would never know. I would have never known until that situation happened. And even when that situation happened, I thought I had like COVID or something. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's what it is, you know what I'm saying? But when they told me that shit, I was like, what the fuck? So, yeah.
How's that affecting you today? I mean, are you positive on top of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably a lot of positive nutritional changes comes from that. And
oh yeah, hell yeah. A lot of shit that like I didn't even know was from that when I switched my shit up, that shit just disappeared. Like little tingles in my body, a little like shit, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know half of that shit was from that shit, but like when I took care of that, man, all that shit went the fuck away. I was like, what the fuck? Like, miracle. And then like another thing that shit did to me is like it really kickstarted my even music wise, you know what I'm saying? It kickstarted me not taking so much like time, or just like not just going forward, because life is short, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
you never know when something like that is gonna pop up on you and put you down. And
exactly, like I tell people, and this is like one of the biggest messages I want to get, so I'm glad that we brought it up this time, because we didn't bring it up last time. But like when I was like on the verge of like thinking about going to the hospital, I had there was like this sugar demon in my head that was like, yo, because I didn't know. I was just like chilling, and I felt sick for like a week, and something just kept telling me in my head like, yo, go get like a couple sodas. And I just went to go get a couple sodas, go get some candy, bro. I went to go get some candy. And I was like, what is telling me to go get so much sugar? Like, why do I crave so much fucking sugar? So when I went to the hospital and they told me, they were like, yo, you are like, your number, bro? Like, for one, your kidneys should be shut the fuck out. Check the fuck out.
Were you going low or too high?
Too high. Wait, I was 813.
Wow.
Yeah.
My brother went to 1,300 one time.
Holy shit.
He checked himself into a hospital. He did it on purpose, mind you.
Oh shit.
He had a drug test coming up the next day.
Oh my god. This is
when he was a juvenile, so we can talk about it.
Right.
Case is over.
Facts.
But he didn't want to go in and take a piss test.
Holy shit.
So he just started bucking Sour Patch Kids and booked himself in the hospital. And yeah, he was over 1,000. I think 1,300.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine, bro.
But
they told me
800 is insane. That's not.
Yeah, they say.
I think 600 they say is like typically where you go down.
Yeah.
Like where things start shutting down.
It's a super fucking fact. They told me, the lady looked in my face, like, cause I'm sitting there having jokes with the fucking nurse that's in the room with me, and the lady comes into the door and she just stares at me. She was like, "What'd you say was wrong with you again?" And I started telling her. She was like, "Yeah, you gotta go to ICU." And I was like, "Why?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it that bad? Like, what's going on? And I'm just joking. She was like, "Yeah, bro, like she said literally, if you would have had a cup of soda, you were like verge of going into a diabetic coma."
Yeah.
By how raging it was. So I was like, I think the diabetic coma is like a 30% survival risk or some shit, weird shit like that. So I was like, fam, what are you telling me? Like, I started freaking out. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? But it's crazy now that like I got a therapist and shit like that, so I be telling her my numbers of like where my sugar at and shit. She be like, yo, you have nothing to worry about. Like, just chill. Don't think about it too much. Like, you know, you rocking. But you would never, like you said earlier, you would never know when that shit coming. Cause I was eating some fucking sugar-free wafers one time, and I was eating the fuck out of them. And then I checked my shit spiked up. I was like, oh my god, nigga, I thought that shit was sugar-free. The fuck? But yeah, you definitely gotta be cautious with that. So yeah, with all this shit, man, people gotta stay on their fucking health, dog. That's
with Robbie, we were moving him into his house. This is probably about a year ago, and I mean, it hits you so suddenly.
Facts.
Like 1 minute we're like moving the couch up the steps, and like people that wouldn't know anything about it, and I've had history with my brother,
right,
to know like this shit is serious, but you know, people were like, oh, he's trying to get out of work or something, because he's like, yo, I need to sit down for a minute, y'all move without me for a minute.
Yeah.
And it is that serious.
It is, bro.
And a finger snap, you're feeling dizzy, your hands
fucking
and feet
right.
are tingling, you're
fucking right,
just feeling disoriented. And a lot of people really downplay diabetes and the effects that it could have. I mean,
that's a fucking fact. That's a fucking fact, bro. Hey, look, when I get big, I'm gonna be an advocate for that shit. Yo, throw me on the fucking insulin commercials, my nigga. I'm with that shit, cause that
Liberty Medical,
Liberty Medical, bro. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be on the fucking, what is it? I forgot what the fucking commercial with the pills and shit. Like, man, fuck that. I'm on that shit, bro.
That would be dope to see you and Robbie do a collaborative project.
You know what I'm saying?
Called Liberty Medical or
Liberty
something like that.
Volume 2. Yeah, type 2. Instead of volume 2, be type 2. Yeah, hell yeah, though.
But
bro.
I'm definitely glad, because I remember seeing that on Facebook. I was going to dive into that, but I'm definitely glad that you're more health conscious now, and that's led to positive changes.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. That shit, like, even, and that's another thing, too. I didn't know how much drinking had an effect on me mentally. Not even just health-wise, just mentally. Like, because I stopped drinking because of that shit, and I noticed how, like, more clear my thoughts were, and, like, you know what I'm saying, how I can get shit done way different, you know what I'm saying, by, like, cutting out the devices and, like, the need to want to do shit.
And probably when you were in the mix, you're probably thinking, like, oh, this helps my inspiration.
Fam, hell
like,
yeah.
I thought that before I quit smoking weed, I was always, like, people, like, my mom was always like, you shouldn't smoke so much fucking weed and try to get shit done. And I'm like, but it's my inspiration, man.
Yeah.
And you convince yourself that essentially, like, all these things are all helping me in a positive way.
Facts.
And at times,
yeah,
maybe it does open up your mind and get you more in a creative space. But a person does not need something in there. If you have that gift, to credit it to a substance is almost downplaying your own personal gift.
Bingo.
And
bingo.
I noticed when I quit smoking marijuana that it led to a lot more positive, clearer thought.
Facts.
I noticed just even simple routine things, getting up, going to work, and just accomplishing the things you needed to do in a day became so much easier and more attainable because I'm not, man, I just want to sit down and smoke weed before I get this. Or
yo, that's real. Like, I tell my homies all the time, like, when we were smoking and we was doing the music and shit, and it's no knock to my homies, no knock to anybody, but I noticed how far I got ahead of the thoughts that we were having as a group when I stopped smoking. When I stopped smoking, I was like, yo, let's do shows. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like doing, like, recording everything and just like, okay, we're chilling with the homies, probably throw it up online or whatever. I was like, let's do shows.
Right.
Let's do this. Let's do that. Oh, my thought is so driven to do something while everybody else is like, yo, let's just make that happen. We can make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit definitely gave me a super drive when I stopped smoking.
So, we'll wrap this up shortly, but I do want to know, with you going back to California this weekend, what are some of the plans or the things that are going to happen that we can know about? I know that you can't release everything, obviously, but what are some things we can look forward to?
I'm doing a lot of writing for some people. Got a couple deals, with Turk we're working on. Releasing more content, doing these vlogs, working with artists out there, actually hands-on, producing more shit. Sneeze is coming with me out there. Yeah, this is like a rebrand. You know what I'm saying? This is like the start of, like, I personally feel like this is the start of the superstar. You know what I'm saying?
National Reppa Ton.
Yeah, like the big shit. Like, underground's cool. I did my things for the underground. I could still, like, make underground music, but let's bring that shit to the mainstream. You know what I'm saying? Let's go for let's go for gold, man. Like, I'm not selling out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not selling out. I'm more selling into the ideas I have. I'm more selling into, like, how far can I really take my art? You know what I'm saying? How creative can I really be, and still, like, do everything, bro.
You're not selling out. You're selling in.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
You're taking those ideas, and I think that has to be a major drive for you.
Fuck yeah.
Being out of like the comfort zone, more or less, and being out there, and you're like, yo, I'm out here for a purpose.
Fucking bro, hell yeah. I told Lick this the other day, ironically. I'm a different monster out there. I'm like, I am the dude. It's like if you throw me into, like, a project I never been to and told me, like, yo, you have to come up with an outcome. I'm that out there times 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be who I really am. I can't, like, have time to relax and chill and whatever. Like, I gotta fight. I gotta really fight, because, like, this is that. I call LA, quote unquote, the orphanage of dreams, because everybody just came from all around the world to make their dreams happen. Right. And a lot of them turn homeless. A lot of them, like, get stuck being civilians, working a 9-to-5, and their dreams never really happen. So you gotta fight against these people. Then you gotta fight with the system that's already there. Then you gotta fight with the, you know what I'm saying, the code of, you know what I'm saying. You still gotta be connected when you touch these different places. You know
and
what I'm
then
saying?
once that approach from the major industry comes, you have
Exactly.
to fight with these
With these
and
labels. I'm not
with the
changing
industry.
shit. Yeah, and if I do change something, it's gonna make it gotta make sense. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing too. That with this next project that I really want to get across to people. I hope they don't feel like I'm changing to appease the mainstream or appease these deals and shit. Man, I love music. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to make the music I always wanted to make, man.
What I gather from your catalog is not that you're trying to be mainstream,
Right.
but that you're trying to change the mainstream.
Exactly.
You know, and that's
exactly.
That's something I definitely see you doing. I've told you before, no matter who I'm in a conversation with about music locally,
Right.
your name is always brought up
That's
as
so
a cemented figure in rap hip hop. And I think years after you're gone, we're gonna end up seeing,
Right.
much like the Nipsey Hussle mural,
Right.
we're gonna see a Reppa Ton mural one day. And
Yeah.
I pray to God that that's obviously not before your time.
Right.
But I do believe that that will forever be cemented in the city's culture. And I think I speak for most of us when I say that we're all standing back in the audience waiting to watch how this all unfolds.
That's dope. That's dope.
Not to add pressure to you, but
no, hell no. Bring the
to...
pressure, man. Bring the pressure. I love that. I love working under pressure, man. I love working with like expectations because I wanna like
pressure
I want to
makes diamonds.
be, you know, exactly. I want to be that diamond. I want everybody to have. If I have a horrible single, I want people to be like, yeah, that shit was trash, bro. I'm not banging that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to be like, man, this is Reppa Ton. You know, I fuck with him, so I'm gonna play this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to like impress people. I wanna be, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
You say that with the horrible single, and that makes me wonder: is there like 1,000 Reppa Ton songs that you don't put out?
Hell yeah!
And
hell yeah!
We just hear the ones that everyone says like, "Yo, this is great, bro. Put that out." Because I've never yet, even things that aren't in my lane of what I listen to or what I go for, it all sounds great.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch
like
of
I'm
songs.
not a major J. Cole fan. I love what J. Cole's done to advance hip hop. I love some of his songs.
Right. Absolutely.
But there's never been a J. Cole project or single or anything that I could pick apart.
Yeah.
And that goes the same with you.
I definitely appreciate that. I think I definitely got songs that like. I don't think I got any trash songs. I would say that. That's one thing I told Sneeze too. I was like, I know that we're gonna make at the bare minimum, some mid dope shit. We ain't just gonna come out with no trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that shit was ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing this for so long, for one, and for two, I'm so comfortable with like I know the limits of my creativity to an extent. And what is deemed as, you know what I'm saying? Like, what good music is. You know what I'm saying? My good music might be different from somebody else's, but it's still music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to come out with some, like, complete, utterly stupid shit. So, when I have that thought, when I'm making music, that's what keeps me being able to come up with the magic tree houses and be able to come up with the records that like actually, even if you don't like them, they, you know what I'm saying, like I respect that, bro. I respect that. That's all I want. You don't gotta like the record, you don't have to love it, but at least acknowledge that some work went behind this shit.
Absolutely, and that I think precedes, and I think that's what's gonna also give you a lot of success when the labels start coming, and they will.
Right.
They're going to sit down and look at your catalog like, holy shit, this guy has never put out a bullshit song.
Right.
You know, they can't look at this shit and be like, well, he sounded like he was stuttering or... Like, he has no flow on this one.
Why did he keep repeating this?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, mind you, a lot of artists that do fucking put out trash music get signed, so I'll be disappointed seeing how you're putting yourself out on the ledge to not see the Rick Rubins and the major figures in the game get behind this, because
it's coming, man.
Yeah,
it's definitely coming. I'm like, this is the most confident I've ever been too. So just like even as confident as I am in the creation process of the music I'm making now, the tables I'm sitting at, the people I'm talking to, I'm super confident. Like this is that victory lap, like Nipsey was talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's that time to create that smash that everybody's talking about. Like this, like 2021 Reppa Ton is like 2008 Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Like I'm ready for that shit.
And I think that's coming. I really do. On the production side of things, I know you've been producing for a long time, making beats, engineering, producing.
For sure.
Who would you say would be like a major producer that you would want to work with?
Major producer I want to work with? Mike Will made it.
Mike Will
made it. He's like my favorite. As far as like 2010s up, he's my favorite producer. Facts. He's definitely my favorite producer. Like 2000 to 2010 is like Alchemist, Jay Dilla. The 90s, Dre, Dr. Dre, DJ Premier. These times, fucking Hit Boy and Mike Will made it. Fuck it.
Do you still use the Ninth Wonder?
Goddamn right. Goddamn right.
I have that on my computer from where you downloaded that for me on one of your flash drives. Yeah. That and the Metro Boomin.
The Metro Boomin one with that
Boomin kit. I still have found ways to this day to manipulate new sounds out of that sound kit specifically is my go-to.
Hell yeah, bro. Them shits, those are like, I ain't gonna lie, I downloaded a lot of sound kicks recently, but like those two are still the most like the ones I come to, the standards for like the beats I make. Find that fucking when that Metro Boomin shit, it's like I think kick 4 or kick 3 or something. That shit
kick 3. That shit has like the knock.
Yeah.
It has like the knock without being like too subtle.
Yeah.
But it also has that like perfect amount of like behind it. And it's not a lot.
No, absolutely.
But it's definitely something that'll thunk with the 808 layer behind it. You're gonna crash somebody's shit.
Bruh, yes. I've been using that shit since I got that kit. I forgot I even gave it to you. Kick 3. That's my shit.
Kick 3 on the official Metro Boomin kit. Shout out to that.
Shout out to that. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Some dude hit me up. Was like, yo, can I get like a Reppa Ton drum kit from you? I was like, yeah. I definitely threw that fucking kick 3 in that shit.
Yeah, kick 3 is.
Yeah.
That one kick, and I know, and the people listening to this they understand that, but since you gave that to me, that's been my go-to kick on almost everything, because you can manipulate that. With it having that perfect amount of punch, you can transpose, you can...
Absolutely. And it has like the right amount of volume with the punch on top of it. So, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. That shit works well, and there's a snare in there that works well. Like, the main thing I would say to any young producer out there, that kick and snare relationship, bro, pay attention to that shit. That shit is everything. The kick and snare relationship.
Right, I always pair that punchy kick with like a real crunchy snare.
Facts. That's my shit. I gotta find a 3-6 kit, because there's this crunchy snare I be hearing in a lot of their old shit that I'm like, yo, I gotta use that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I always tell Robbie Parker, because he's like he's more of like a juggernaut and making like shit that like you would compare to Mozart or Bach.
Oh shit!
And I'm always at like every beat he sends me, and I'm really picky on my beat selection. I'm like, dude, these are great beats.
Yeah.
But I kind of want something a little bit dumbed down. He's like, how the fuck do I do that? Because
I can tell by talking to him, he's a music nut. He can definitely get into.
He's insane. I've showed him like guitar samples that I want to use or something like that, and he's like, dude, I'll just play it right now. You don't have to look up the tabs. He's like, no. He just listens to it. He's like,
yo, I've been meaning to work
keyboards. He can play the keyboard, the fucking sats, the drums. Like, there's not an instrument.
Forever, man. I gotta get to the point where I actually just found my producer, like one of my main producers, who's gonna help me out. Andrew Hypes as well.
Andrew
Mills.
Hypes.
Those are like my three Paul Farley, Marcus Mills, and Andrew Hypes are the three main producers for this Rage project. But I definitely got to work with Robbie too.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, and I mean, he's real good at sending you quality through the email. You know, if you need it, you know, and he,
sure.
If you give him an example, you can hum it over the phone to him.
And he'll just...
he'll play it. He'll find whatever key you're humming in and just play it.
That dude's dope. I can tell just by talking to this dude on Facebook. I can tell.
Yeah, I met him in middle school actually.
Oh, shit.
And he was in bands that were playing venues in middle school.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn. He goes back. That's fire.
Yeah, he's a fire producer. I definitely would love to see you guys
absolutely
get a chance to link up.
Absolutely. As soon as I hit back to Cali, I'm about to fucking I'm about to be super on my creative wave. So I'm about to just knock out music.
You think you'll, being that you worked with Andrew Hypes, do you think that you would ever see yourself on a collab with Evan Barlow?
I've been trying. I actually, he was supposed to be. Well, he wasn't supposed to be, but I hit him up to be on a remix of a song that I got on Flower in the Pot, and we were supposed to do it, but I got so discouraged by something that happened. I think it was like I was doing a video for the song, and the video turned out trash, and I was like, fuck this song. So, but yeah, he was supposed to be on one of those joints. Hell yeah, bruh. Hell yeah. The energy that they had. Him and Andrew had back in the day when we were performing, nuts. Andrew's beats, Evan's flow and like energy. Presence on that shit, fucking nuts. Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta have that triangle. I know he's signed, so he's probably gonna ask for like some bread. So I'm gonna see if I can knock that out. But nah, we definitely gotta work. Definitely.
Evan, if he's listening, I remember him all the way from 8th grade when I had moved to Caroline for a brief period of time. I seen that kid before he was really getting into music heavily.
That's fire.
I remember him fist fighting in the fucking high school hallway.
What?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's a wild kid. He always was. And
right.
He always had that energy that you could tell he was gonna go on to do something in the entertainment industry, most certainly.
I can definitely peep that. He carries himself like it.
And I think you guys would make a dope collaboration, being that you're working with a mutual producer at this point.
Sure.
I don't know if he still has projects with
I think they're still working. If I'm not mistaken.
I hope so. That was a great collaboration.
Hell yeah. Actually, I'm about to hit up Hypes when I leave here and see, like, yo, let's do that.
You also need to hit up BC, because I know Lick told me he had to get with BC about scheduling our interview. He was like, BC's my partner, so I gotta consult him.
Facts. Yeah, BC is that dude, man. BC is the brains. He's the eyes and the brains.
I wouldn't mind getting an interview with him. You know, he's done.
Got to, man.
He's done so much for the culture as well, not just locally, but. I remember you told me he's the one who did the documentary for Team Gig.
Yeah. I keep forgetting Team Gig. Yeah. We did that fucking New York documentary. Yeah, that's where I met them through him, and we did that. We stayed up there for like a weekend, I think, maybe a little bit more than a weekend. And he's doing all that smack, like not smack, but like smack battles and shit.
Yeah.
BC, man. Fucking BC.
Shout out to Team Gig too.
Shout out to Team Gig.
Anyone who doesn't know about them, get hip to them.
I don't even know. I hope they're still going by Team Gig, but
I hope so.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm about to look that shit up so I can give them a proper shout out. But shout out to R&B Stiz. Shout out to all them dudes.
They've got some extreme bangers. We heard the No Love track.
Yeah.
That one, like, it'll get stuck in your head, man. You'll be like working somewhere one day, and it's just like, they don't know no love, so tell them to show love. And I remember they performed that at the Bushwick Public House with us.
Yo, okay, it is. They still going by Team Gig. Facts.
You remember how short the ceiling was in the Bushwick Public House?
We were in the
Nova,
basement.
I think his name is.
Who is it?
the Mook Nova, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
The guy climbed the speaker during that show, and I'm like, how the hell is he on top of a speaker when my head's touching the fucking...
Yo, yeah, that was a good times, dog. I miss New York, man.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
That was a show where a lot of love came out of that.
Real shit. That was a great show.
I remember I was a little intimidated because I thought you were coming to that video shoot in the Bushwick Projects after we left there.
Yeah,
they were like, come on out to this video shoot.
Everybody's you to the fucking project.
And those are some pretty serious projects. Damn. If you don't know about New York projects, don't go in there without someone co-signing that.
Yeah, me and BC was in there a few times, and they showed mad love, but I was sketched the fuck out.
Dude, my mom was there for that actually.
Yeah.
And she had a purse, I think, with like $3,000, and we're in the projects with people we don't really know. We did a show with them, so you assume there's that artistry connection, and everything's cool. She ends up like spilling a purse. And like 3,000 cash just comes out on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And they were like, you need help getting that up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I think it was Stiz's apartment. His grandma was coming out like, y'all need to tone it the fuck down.
That's fucking nuts.
That was dope, and it's been a while, but I still try to keep in touch with Vito.
For sure, Reg Vito, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I love that. I love that spiderweb shit, man. That fucking touring, going around the world and like creating connections with people, man. Cause that shit really that shit's really genuine and real fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to see how you'll hop on Instagram or something to see how they live and how they regular lives is and shit.
I'd be willing to take the jump and say, if you're an artist on the East Coast and you're fucking with artists that are in the underground, if you ask, you're gonna find out about Reppa Ton.
That's big.
Fucking insane. I've never seen someone with so many 6-degree ties.
Facts. Yeah,
you know someone that knows someone that knows someone in that conversation every single time.
It's always like that. And I started realizing that shit, man. I started realizing that's where that confidence came from, like, more recently. Like, yo, I have to get this confidence down pat so that people, like, it could start connecting with people. Because people could know me, you know what I'm saying? They, like, never met me or, like, yo, you know, Reppa Ton. Like, BC was up in New York one time. Completely different situation. Completely separate from anything. And somebody on the bus, and this was like 2015, before Forever Changes. Somebody on the train was singing a song I released called Mattress. Somebody.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's what I mean. I wouldn't say you underrate or underestimate your value to hip hop at all, but I don't think you quite really get the.
I don't.
yeah, it's insane. There's a lot of people out there that are hip to it.
Right.
All over the world. I would, like you said, you were releasing things in Germany and things like that beforehand.
That's a fact. And those dudes from Germany flew over that one time at the in Bushwick Public House. Actually, they flew over from fucking Germany. That's probably one of the biggest accomplishments of all time, though.
I remember that. You shouted that out on stage, actually.
Yeah. Those dudes came from fucking Dortmund, Germany, and came to see me, paid tickets to come see me. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and I had a person that I collaborated with in 2012 pop up at that fucking show that lived right up the street.
Right up the street. That's the power of music. That's the power of, like, for one, that's the power of being underground and, like, really connecting with the people, is that we can have those type of situations happen, man. I love that shit, dog. I love that shit. That shit is amazing.
Now, do you remember Face Melt? There was a time you weren't performing on the bill.
Right.
And I was just like, yo, take this ticket, bro. Come on in. And there was also pretty cute girl out there. And I ended up sliding her ticket to bring. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I forgot all about that.
I brought the girl into the club. I buy her a drink, and I'm like attempting to like kind of throw some game at her.
Yeah.
And I think something happened. I went up on stage.
Yeah.
to go talk to Lick about like slot times or something for performing on that show, and I came back and you had finessed me. I'll never forget that because that whole night I was like, I shouldn't have gave Red that ticket.
Yo, that's hilarious. Funny. I just followed her on Instagram for the first time like 3 or 4 days ago.
Wow.
That's ironic. That's funny as shit. Like we didn't talk. I think we talked like very little after that night. Nothing even transpired, which I really wanted it to. But yeah. I bought her a drink and she was kicking.
If you're out there, don't bring your girl around rap.
Yo, that's funny. That is funny, yo.
I won't say your girl, but don't don't try to spit game on some girl, rando, and then leave rep with her. See, he's gonna finesse that.
That is funny, man. I just followed her too, Kay. I'm not gonna say the rest of her name, but Kay. That's funny.
Shout out Kay.
Shout out Kay, yo. I think she's blowing up on TikTok too. That's funny.
You swagged on me.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Kay.
She got the free drink. I think it was her birthday or something. She was by herself or some weird shit.
It was super weird because she was just like out there, dressed up pretty nice, looking pretty good, and just like out there, like I'm just going on in here. And I'm like, here, take this ticket, come in and peep it out. Let me buy you a drink.
Facts.
But I'm gonna go ahead and I see we're at to almost 3 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Insane interview. I think the people are gonna have a lot of content to look out for and a lot more deeper of a relationship with you as an artist.
Absolutely. I love how this is going. Much success to like the other interviews you do, man. Because this is especially pull that Narwhal shit out there, bro.
They don't know.
If you do that to more artists, man, this shit's gonna.
They don't know. I pay attention. I don't want to interview people that I'm not gonna research. And
that's a super fact.
And vice versa. I want to research people that I'm gonna interview. So if it's lurking out there on the internet,
you're gonna find
I'm gonna get you.
Hey, that's your little tagline. If it's on the internet, I'm gonna get you. Gotta snap your finger. I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you.
Hell yeah, man. You get to snap it. I'm gonna get you.
But it's definitely been a pleasure having you in.
For sure.
Definitely been a pleasure having you as my first interview.
Appreciate it. Again.
Excellent content.
For sure.
Excellent artist.
This is probably the best interview.
For those that aren't hip yet, he goes by Reppa Ton on all social media handles, right?
Just changed my my name though to Rep R-E-P with the exclamation mark.
Right.
But on all social media is Reppa Ton,
And it is the space between Reppa and Ton. Don't fucking do that to him. He doesn't like that shit.
That shit, facts.
I followed that post too.
I make that post like once a year. Hell yeah.
It's not Reppa Ton, it's Reppa Ton.
Reppa. Yeah, that's a fact. That shit.
How did you get the name before we go? Last question.
See, that's why I had to change it. So I got my name from, and I don't mean to be politically incorrect, but I was high as fuck. I was like 14 years old. Somebody had released like a video with 17K views on YouTube named J Real, because my name's Jarrell. Mm-hmm. So they had used J Real, and my name was J Real as a rapper. And then I changed it to DJ J Real, and somebody had DJ J Real for like DJ Paul. I was influencing shit. So I was smoking with my brother. I was like, man, what the fuck am I gonna call myself, dog? This nigga got 17,000 views. I can't pair up. And this is like, way back. So 17,000 views was humongous. So I was like, man, I can't compare myself to that shit. And I heard some like foreigners talking. They were arguing, and my high ass heard a Reppa Ton. So I was just like, Reppa Ton. And I got home and went on YouTube, changed my shit, changed it to everything to Reppa Ton. So that's how I got my name. And I thought it was the stupidest name. So from first having it to 2011, I went through like mad different names. I was like, man, fuck, I'm not doing Reppa Ton. Like, the fuck, that shit makes no sense. I went to like ill lyrics, Young Flo. I went to like the whole Skrilla. Like I had like mad different Fiji or some shit like that. I had like mad different names, but yeah, when it was time to take it serious, when it was time to do that fucking deal, the second deal, I was like, yeah, let's just go Reppa Ton. Let's do that. So, yeah.
When I hear it in my head, it comes with like a Caribbean accent.
Yeah, right?
Reppa Ton.
Yo, for real. That's why I had to change that shit, yo. I got tired of just letting that shit just like, all right, I'm just gonna deal with it because people know, but yeah.
It's a catchy name, though.
Yeah,
You're not
sure.
going to find another artist named Reppa Ton, and then it could also be like he reps a ton of style.
Reps a ton, that's right.
Reppa Ton of hoods now. He's out in Cali out there in Nipsey's block.
That's a yeah, hell yeah. That's funny.
Definitely look out for him. He's coming to major platforms pretty soon. I can vouch that because I've watched his evolution. I've seen the art that he puts out, and it's definitely something to be reckoned with amongst the greats.
I appreciate that for sure.
Until next time, this has been King Rich 804 on the Speezy, and our special guest Reppa Ton. And we'll holla at you and don't forget, if it's on the internet, I'm gonna find